Coming home at 4 a.m., staring at the holes in the ceiling. Feels a little smaller now as I'm trying harder to breathe in. Lying in the sheets, caught up in between dreaming and a nightmare. Ghost in the machine, you're haunting my sleep, a familiar stranger. Loving can be so hard sometimes. Give me a feeling in the silence. I need you as my alibi to wake me up tonight. Nothing I change will make me right. Trying, but there's no way to hide. So I need you as my alibi to wake me up tonight. Waking in the morning, I can't hear you in the kitchen. Nothing feels right, and on my bed can't make me fit in. Lying in the sheets, caught up in between dreaming and a nightmare. Ghost in the machine, you're haunting my sleep, a familiar stranger. Loving can be so hard sometimes. Give me a feeling in the silence. I need you as my alibi to wake me up tonight. Nothing I change will make me right. Trying, but there's no way to hide. So I need you as my alibi to wake me up tonight.
Welcome, everyone, to the NA broadcast for Shift Summer League. Hootie Hoo here. I'm going to be bringing you the action alongside Corelli and Spaceman. Spaceman, got a little jig going. How we feeling?
That's right, baby. Look, I'm feeling good, man. I've been out of the weather. I've been under the ground for the past week, just been recovering from a couple of trips, but I had to get back in time because it is time for the Shift Summer League. And with that, some excellent Rocket League right before champs. Very excited. It's going to be a fun one, man. I'm locked in, man. How you doing?
Oh, I'm feeling good. I'm excited. It's a warm day today.
I like that.
But, I mean, we're going to have some hot matches. That's what I'm thinking. Corelli, how are you feeling down there? I see you got the Hawaiian shirt on.
Is it Hawaiian?
I mean, well.
How did you not look at it when you
I
put
don't
it
know.
on?
Is this Hawaiian? I don't know. This is kind of just
I don't know,
like
maybe just summer theme, maybe?
It's summer theme. Yeah, it's summer. I
like
mean, look
that.
at us. Look at Hootie. He's got that new haircut. He's looking sharp out
Yeah,
here.
look at this,
Look
man.
at that.
Come
Look at the
on.
W's
That's a
in
hot
chat
man.
for the new cut, man. It's slick. Spaceman.
Go
you
ahead.
You're here. We're happy for
Yeah,
you.
I don't look like I have lupus anymore, so thank you. Appreciate that.
You're alive. I'm feeling good. We've got.
Thank you.
Listen, the first match of the day, we got the best team in the world play. I mean, what's not to love?
That's amazing.
Let's talk about it. The best team in the world, G2, coming off of a major victory. You know, how have they not finished less than second? I mean, what a feat throughout both majors, all the regionals at home. Incredible stuff from G2. They're going to be taking on Rebellion in our first match of the day. But before we get too deep into that discussion, let's take a look here. One thing to note, Parth and the ref. You see ref there. We got a referee in. No, I'm kidding. We got Two-Piece is out this week. Memory's going to be stepping in to play alongside Parth and Justin. Do we think that's going to make any difference this week or at least maybe against G2? I don't know.
Hootie, how could you ask a question like that? Yeah, I think it's going to make a difference. I'm not going to lie. Listen, back in the day, I remember playing against Memory, and he's a great player. I'm sure he's great. And it's not that long ago that he stopped playing, so it's not like he's just bad all of a sudden. But yeah, I mean, listen, not having Two-Piece in the lineup. I mean, come on, it's going to make a difference against again the best team in the world, G2.
Yeah. I was thinking it may not make a difference because it doesn't really matter who you throw at them. G2's probably going to spank them.
Okay, Hootie, you didn't realize we're coming out the gate like that. Okay. No, go ahead, talk. What are you feeling about G2? Go ahead, say what you just.
Well, what I'm thinking is Beast Mode at the moment has a claim for best player in the world. When you saw that performance at the London Major, you had to be impressed. And then you got players like Daniel and Atomic playing second fiddle. And with their consistency, like I said at the top earlier, I don't know how you could have any doubt. It doesn't matter what roster you throw at them. It's a coach, it's a sub, it's the three starters. You can assemble your three best players in North America. A lot of people think that Gen G is the three best outside of G2, and they haven't had much success against that squad. So I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference. Let's talk about format, though. This is league play, something that we have not had for a while. This open era has been so much fun, but league play, it's going to bring something different. Double round robin. We're going to play every single team twice throughout this event. Each broadcast is going to happen on a Tuesday and Wednesday for the next 3 weeks, and every team is going to play 3 matches each day. That's a total of 18 series. I didn't do the math. The numbers are right there, thankfully. Top 6 are going to make regional playoff. Double elim. The top 4 start in the upper bracket, which is a huge benefit. That 5th and 6th place team only going to have 1 life in the playoff bracket. And, of course, the bottom 4 are out. So that is the format that we're looking at for this league play. I'm super excited. I know that RLCS has grown a tremendous amount since this open era, and I think this is a lot of people's first time seeing this kind of format.
Yeah, and this is the first time that league play has maybe made a mainstay in the middle of an RLCS season. Middle's probably not the right word because we're about a month and a half away from champs, but with everything else, if league plays finally come back around. When we saw the schedule, I know Crelly and I immediately started thinking about old RLCS schedules. I thought about rival series. That was like my big MO with Rocket League at that point. But league play, double elim, that style, double round robin has been around for a long time. And yeah, it's a lot of matches, but that's the point. We want to see who's the best of the best, war of attrition in this type of tournament. And Crelly, I expect that we're going to get that. And it's always nice that we get this kind of dead middle before a major event coming up as well, with champs just around the corner.
Yeah, if you got to watch the European show, they were talking about it too. It is kind of nice to get a little, not just a tournament, but like a full-on league play where we get to see teams play multiple times over a stretch of time rather than like maybe running into each other in like the circuit style stuff that we do for RLCS. Each of these types of formats have their pros and cons. This is going to be exciting because, as Spaceman said, a lot of nostalgia around the league play that we had back in the day. I remember flying out to the studios and meeting up with the guys, and it's just like that's where it all started. You know what I mean? So to kind of have that throwback and then to do it in this style, it's a lot of fun. I'm excited to see how teams react to a league play in this like modern Rocket League era.
Now, y'all help me out here. The last time we had league play was 2019, right?
2020.
2020.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're around 4-year mark. We've still got some players kicking around now that played back in league play. JNaps, Com, Nolly, I think a couple of them were in RLRS, Hoxer, Chicago, and Justin as well. So we've got some names that are familiar with this. I'm not sure if it's going to make a huge difference. I'm interested to see if we hear this answer all the time in interviews. We don't prep for the other team. We just play our game. But I think that's kind of, they have to do that, right? They don't know who they're going to play when they run to these tournaments. This week, it's all mapped, or this format is all mapped out. The next 3 weeks, they know who they're playing on what day. So I'm excited to see if some of these teams are doing some prep-heavy stuff. I know that RMC team, Luminosity, they've got some great coaches on board, as do many of these squads. So I'm excited to see if they do some
great players too.
Front-loading.
Throwing out that one out. Great player.
But let's take a look at prize pool. We know everybody's interested in the prizing, how it's split up. $20,000 here on the line for North America. We're going to have $9K to first place, $5,000 for second place, $2,500 goes to third, $1,500 to fourth, and then $1,000 each for fifth and sixth. So a little cheddar on the line.
A little bit.
You get a little bit of money. If you got to finish, top 50% to be in the money. That's not bad.
It's a bit surprising. I'm glad we're paying out top 6. I think that's good for a league play. In historical sense, I'm just thinking back to a variety of different esports and games and tournaments. Like top 4 was like, that's where, granted this was years ago, so top 4, that was where the money was. But look, you show up, you have a couple of good games, couple of good days, weeks maybe of league play. You could walk away with $1,000. That's not bad for the off season. And like, again, we're still ramping up for champs. So I think it's more of this is a qualitative win for a lot of teams. You get a lot of practice, get a lot of reps in, and we just see where everybody's at. Everybody's going to be on Reddit and Twitter saying, oh, this doesn't matter. Yeah, it kind of does, actually. We're seeing exactly where the teams are at before champs. And we're going to build the storylines from here. So lock in. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be a good time. And that's actually one of the things that I'm so excited about with the NA side is we've got all of the World Championship teams competing in this league. We're going to get to see 2 of them face off today with Space Station and OG. And I know that is an exciting one. It's later on today. But those are, I think, the 2 teams that have kind of been maybe not direct rivals, but from community narratives, right? I know in the first half of the season we talked about, Space Station kind of got, they got unlucky running into Genji early on. Were they supposed to make the major? Yada, yada. And then they prove it here in the second half. OG has been consistent throughout. So we're going to have all kinds of matchups like that. Super exciting. I'm ready to see what's going on. Corelli, do you have a favorite matchup tonight that is going on?
Yes. Actually, you'll be shocked to hear this. I'm excited for the second matchup of the night, which is Pirates on the Boat and Fun. And I'm very interested to see the Fun team because, fun and incorrect. Because most of the teams that we have here have been in contention for major or maybe just outside of that. Everyone here, I think, has pretty much all tried to qualify for major, at least, join through the RLCS play-ins. But the Fun and Incorrect boys, I'm very excited because Incorrect had a great little play-in run that they had. And Fun's got this boy Talk, and I like to watch this kid play. I saw the JNaps tweet about him the other day. He just won the Canada Day Cup just recently for Nova Scotia. He's a baller, man. He's teamed up with Nitrous and T-Corel. They're kind of my dark horse pick. I'm not dead set on him. I'm not planting my flag on him right now, but I want to see those boys play.
I want to see him play too. And I know everybody here in the chat wants to see the game, so let's get right to it. I hear the players are ready. I know you guys are ready. So let's hit the field and get after it.
Corelli, it's always a pleasure to see you, reimagine the PlayStation 1 version of Corelli. Welcome in. It's looking fantastic, folks. And listen, it's been a long time since you and I have been here on the pitch. Back when LG was still the squad? Oh, my word. Turned my little beady heart. But listen, G2, major champions. We know what just happened back a couple of weeks ago. This is actually the first rematch these two teams are going to have all the way back since May 26. It was a second place finish for Rebellion in Open Qual 6. They go to the finals, they lose to G2. But things are different here today, Corelli. They're coming in with the sub. They're obviously not at full strength, but they're taking on the major champions, probably the best team in the world. What do they need to do to slow this team down?
Slow down G2. Get that boy Atomic off the ball. You can't let Atomic go through and be the playmaker that he is. A lot of people are going to point to Beast Mode and Daniel. They do great stuff in themselves individually, but Atomic sometimes, man, the way he owns the field up and down, defensively and offensively through the midfield, you've got to slow him down. You can't put him in goal-scoring positions. He's been, in many cases, their man to clean up those chaotic plays on their offense. You saw it the last major when his shooting's in form all of a sudden. G2 are winning majors. And you also, Spaceman, you pointed out a little bit of history. So far in RLCS, these two teams in games, 8-1 in favor of G2. So Shopify, while it's only 2-0 in series, they've really struggled to beat this G2 squad.
It's tough when the sample size isn't as robust as maybe you'd like. Granted, the season only had 2 majors, a couple of open quals for teams to fight through. Rebellion certainly didn't have the greatest start. To say that about a couple of other teams in North America. But the important thing is, even though we won't be seeing them later this year, they are still here now. And they're going to be, again, fighting against the best team in the world. Arguably, you could even make the argument for Beast Mode, leading the charge as the #1 player. And in the offseason, you know, there's going to be a lot of conversations about what will happen with the rest of NA. And that's going to come down to what kind of version of G2 we get moving forward, from the major, running through champs, to even this tournament now. If we get this team firing on all cylinders, I don't expect them to ever make a change. And with Atomic starting off the scoring, again, you're just kind of seeing the prowess this team brings early on. A couple of weeks off, not even phased.
What do you do, man? We just mentioned it. Don't let Atomic outside the box with some space. You spelled your own doom. Can't let that boy have that space, and you're seeing why. Atomic already putting away the first goal, and I guess so far, Spaceman, this game going exactly how you maybe would imagine it. But I don't know. I mean, listen, you know, like we said, Memory isn't like that far off of retirement. It's not like this guy can't hit the ball properly anymore, and if he could just lean on Justin, lean on Parth, I think there's some goal-scoring opportunities that Shopify can create.
Yeah, certainly got to lean into the veterans on the squad, you would hope. But like you said, Memory, no slouch at all. Again, had a very valiant run with E United for a while. But also running into one of the best teams in the world with one of the greatest counterattacks we've maybe ever seen. We talk about some of the dominance that G2 brings to the table, maybe not as poignant as the Vitality run last year, but in their own right, they've made it to a grand finals every single open qualifier and major so far this season. It's an insane accomplishment. Backboard, Parth, double tap, tying it up very quickly.
Oh, well, I'm talking so much about G2. But what about Shopify? What about Parth? Inspirational from him on the backboard. And Daniel, I mean, what are you going to do there? Double tap, backs turned to the play. Not much you can do to get up after that one. You have to predict it if you're going to make a play on it. At that point, you're just saying, okay, hit it, man. If you're good enough, hit it. If you're going for it, hit it. And he did.
You got to force some respect, especially on the backboard. Just take the shot. Atomic won't get there in time. Parth will easily clear it away. But I think for Shopify, at least just for this series, knowing they're playing with a substitute, right, try to beat G2 at the midfield. If you're able to catch them off rotation, maybe get out in front, win those passes on the back line, things might get easier. But also at the midfield, got to worry about a rotation from Beast Mode that cuts quickly into Justin's POV. Atomic sets it up, and Beast Mode finishes.
Yeah, that's rough. That's rough if you're Shopify. Leaving Beast Mode open midfield with no one back. I don't know what you would expect. So far, G2 taking advantage of what they have in front of them, and certainly an open net for Beast Mode is not what you want to give G2.
No.
Back into the lead, G2 Go, who have been very calmly chucking along against this Shopify squad.
They'll give him the free stuff, make him work a little bit harder. We'll tread out a couple of players back to full strength. Justin screams into the midfield, and the net's wide open again. Can't finish it. Actually flubs the touch. Memory, parked bus on the goal line, picks up possession. Will try to get back to the midfield. Justin's going to have to handle this. And what looked like a surefire 3-1 lead for G2 actually kicks out the other way. Now a counterattack opportunity for Shopify.
Cannot let G2 set up their offense. And one of the best ways you can do that in Rocket League is setting up an offense of your own. That would be suffocating on their side. And Shopify tried to set that up. Passes not finding their mark, and for G2. Happy to just take the tackles at the tap in for Danny Boy. 3-1 for G2. They're rolling in game one.
Look at that touch from Atomic. I mean, just knew exactly where his teammates were downfield. Again, the trust, the decisiveness from G2 is what separates them qualitatively from a lot of other squads in NA. They always know where their touch is going. They're always in the right space, right time. Under a minute to go, plenty of opportunities to be sure, but for G2, it's a bit of just a curtain call here. They played so great in game one. Still plenty of time in the best of 5, but a very valiant start from the best team in the world. And for Shopify, again, a lot of positives here, right? A couple of midfield challenges that go their way. Yes, they lose the tackle on the opposite end. They give up a goal here or there, but it hasn't been a blowout. They've kept it close. That's what you need moving on this best of 5.
Yeah, it's never a good sign if we're saying something like that. If we're saying, well, at least it wasn't a blowout. And,
That's right.
well, maybe we could be wrong as another one tacked on from G2. 25 seconds left, and they could get more if they wanted to. It's a good effort by the last man, but in the end, G2 commanding start to the series.
You know, this is an interesting league to be a part of for a lot of teams because NA kind of boils back down to hold on, cut the lead in half. It does somewhat boil down to we have essentially a giant scrim before Worlds, a bunch of teams still competing in it, but we are kind of seeing where these squads are at and whether or not you want to put, you know, entirely all of your weight into G2's performance in this summer league going into Worlds. That's up to you. For us, Corelli, it feels like we're going to be seeing really what are G2 excelling at this late in the season? What have they changed? What potentially are they still working on? It's tough when a squad is so clean and so excellent on so many sides of the ball, but this is going to be a very fun couple of weeks of Rocket League action just to see, kind of get a litmus test for where some of these top teams are going heading into the World Championship.
Well, I think so far, there is no litmus test that needs to be held onto G2 because they have passed every test with flying colors for the most part, and they have certainly been to every single grand finals that they've competed in, and right now acting like it. Yeah, maybe a 2-goal game, but for G2, put away a lot more of those chances. Those stats don't tell a lie there. 6 shots to G2's side. Now, you might look at Shopify and say, hey, well, look, 9 shots on their end, but I don't think any of them were as threatening as G2's were, despite having less shots. And you could tell just by the gameplay and the way the offense was shaped up for G2, just way, way more threatening.
Yeah, and, you know, we kind of harped on the conversation of Atomic couldn't be a threat. Of course he is. He always will be. But also when you look back at what the squad does really well, Corelli, it's like, okay, you deal with Atomic in the midfield, great. Then you have to worry about Daniel in beast mode, whether it's backboard, whether it's the counterattack, whether it's using the ceiling. I mean, we've seen beast mode start the season with his ridiculous pre-flip reset read onto the ball that kind of opened up proceedings of this year. Everyone's like, is this already the greatest shot of the season? These are the types of things, before Daniel like 1v3'd later in open qualifiers, these are the types of things that they just create space where it clearly there shouldn't be any. That's why they've separated themselves from most of NA. So for Shopify, you're not getting a lot. They're taking advantage of what they're given, but they're not going to get a lot of opportunities against G2, and they have to worry about diving into different dimensions of offense that G2 bring to the table. This is just going to be a very, very difficult series. Yes, it's only the first one of NA. Yes, it's only the first one of week 1. But that does not take away the fact that it is David versus Goliath. A couple of quick strikes from David, but Goliath once again looming a little too tall. Into game 2 we go.
Do you think David was in 240p?
No, I think David was incredibly malnourished and probably, yeah, you know, you might be too. He might be.
He was probably. Oh, you think so?
Yeah. I mean, that's what, if you're hungry, you're basically fighting for your life in 240p. So.
He and I have a lot in common then.
What's it like being a pixel?
Hey, at least I got a few as Atomic.
Okay.
The G2 trying to keep their attack right off the rip. Daniel, he was almost able to put away his opportunity. And G2, my goodness, already attacking more. Pushing into that box is at least Shopify is able to break out and weather the storm. That's what you don't want if you're Shopify. You don't want to be underwater immediately. And they are able to push them back.
Justin actually went up early for that. Did enough to shadow. G2, however, will take possession right back. I like the pressure we're seeing early on from Shopify. Able to work through the corners. They got a boost grab. Parth actually splits right in front of beast mode. Couldn't get out in front of the ball, but that's okay. Atomic going to send it on its way. That is just just cherry picking downfield. He was ready for the pass, caught it in transition, and puts it away.
There's about 2 or 3 pinches that have been attempted, and this one is really just a perfect pass over to Atomic instead of a shot, although I don't know if that's what was the intended outcome. But regardless, Atomic makes it work. And G2, as we always say, striking first and striking early puts Shopify in the hole, and it's up to them to make the difference. Memory's going to get bumped out of the way on trying to set things up for Shopify. Now Justin. Now he's denied by Daniel, and Beast Mode will play the pass. I think he wanted that one a little bit higher to come out straighter to Atomic or Daniel. It's a tough ball to get to at that point.
Yeah.
And G2 setting up the attack.
Well, he actually plays it well, though. He kind of just, throws a shoulder at it, is able to get it off the high part of the backboard, so allowed Beast Mode to move out to the opposite corner. Atomic and Daniel can start to set up in space, use the ceiling to all of its advantage. Atomic already pre-jumping for the offensive third. Parth will get it to Justin. Not maybe the cleanest touch, but it'll keep the play moving. Things start to slow down. 2:45 on the clock, plenty of time, but it's these counterattacks from G2 that you work so hard for Shopify to get upfield, then you kind of run out of boost. Parth stuck in no man's land. G2 already on your back line, challenging everything. It's an open net, and it's 2-0 G2.
Well. G2 working this Shopify defense. Justin, I think, did what he had to do there. Unfortunately, lost the challenge on that back wall. Atomic perfectly reading that. And again, I just feel like Atomic always in the mix, man. Like, I feel like this is a guy who, whether or not he's the big-time shooter, right, the big solo play, he's the playmaker. And a lot of times setting up Daniel and Beast Mode in such great spots. And don't get me wrong, Beast Mode, Daniel, they create enough space for themselves, but Atomic, together with those guys, have made G2 so good. Justin is able to slip one through here for Shopify. 2:20 on the clock. Plenty of time for Shopify to get back in.
I don't want to say it's a misread from Daniel. I think it's just, again, better execution in close space from Shopify. Good extension upfield. Parth able to do all he could. Remember, Memory subbing in today. 2-piece out. He will be back, I believe, next week. So if you're wondering where your favorite player is, don't worry. We'll see him soon. Daniel. Ran out of boost. Beast Mode will get the call first. Should be able to hover. At least gets up for the challenge. One part of the game that Atomic has not gotten enough love for this season has been defensively. Maybe not as, individually creative as someone like Roas, but very confident, very solid on the back line, makes the right read, and usually holds on to possession quite well.
Speaking of possession,
just
no.
like that, man.
That's
insane.
No. Oh no,
that's insane. It's stuff like this, man. Like, you don't need to be creative. It just has to work. Look at this 50s.
Oh, I was about to say, G2 doing a great job of coming off their back wall and just keeping possession. Even if you fall to the ground there and take the next challenge, it's fine. That's best case scenario. Getting an errant touch from the opposing defender straight into their net, you can't complain.
(3-1) lead for G2. Starting to dig a little bit deeper in the back for Shopify. What else do they have up their sleeve to slow down this offense, which hasn't felt like G2 has had to work overtime to make a lot of these looks happen? They'll get the corner grab, centered out if needed. Back to the midfield. Transition begins for G2. Daniel looking for Atomic. Has him, but doesn't have enough boost to really get out in front. Atomic still will be able to get the catch.
Look out.
Yep, and great job by Memory just to kind of hold spot on the backboard and follow in with the ball.
A lot of options there for Atomic as he took that one up. Fortunately, put it right at the defender. Here comes again, full boost. One of the shot directly on target. Justin can do nothing about it. Memory has no boost. It was an open net in the end, and a 4-1 scoreline for G2.
Well, creeps up from the midfield, and Atomic with just a great understanding of how physics works in Rocket League. That's the breakdown. Off the kickoff, under 60 to go, 4-1 G2. Gotta feel like game 2 is going to be theirs at this rate. Atomic, who has been the standout in this second game, might do it again from the side wall. One to beat, Parth in the net, holds the reset, gets him to bite and make it 5-1.
I'm actually curious to see this one from Parth's POV. He's the last man. He's got full boost, lots to work with. Atomic, he clearly sees them coming after him, but you have to make a choice, low or high. And Parth picks somewhere in between. Atomic going under. Smart from Atomic. One of the biggest brains, in my opinion, player-wise. so smart behind that ball, and I've been talking him up this entire time, and for good reason. Now you're seeing why. 5-1 for G2. What was it, 4-1 the last game? I mean, this has been...
No, 4-2.
4-2, excuse me, 4-2, that's right.
Daniel?
Oh my gosh, he passed it to him midair! Wait a minute! What is this touch from memory? Is that the coach? What's he doing?
Look at that setup from Parth.
Get this guy a team!
Whew. Luckily, they get a demo to kind of get Daniel out of things, and they take advantage of the space, but a beautiful setup from Shopify. Cuts the lead down to 31, but still plenty of time.
Right, plenty of time to come back? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, that's what I said. Okay. Huge three from Chris Paul.
Yeah. Cuts the lead down to 42. Don't think it's going to happen. I like the optimism, though.
Yeah, you got to have it sometimes. Justin waiting for it. Wow. All right, I like the close quarters offense here we're seeing from Shopify. For those in chat who had absolutely no idea what that was all about, 45. That is a basketball reference. Please watch sports. But here we go. The setup, Parth, the execution, Shopify. They will get it back down to 2, but no time left on the clock. Folks, that is G2 with a 2-0 lead to start off the Shift Summer League here from North America. And it has not been close. Granted, plenty of opportunities and positive. A great silver lining here for Shopify. But G2 a little bit too strong and a little bit too good for them.
This is an NA stream. We can make basketball right.
That's right. At least one person will understand what these references mean. That's what it's all about.
You're right. It's a 2-0 lead for G2. Remember, best of 5, as Spaceman has noted. And for Shopify, again,
right.
You look at the score line. Okay, respectable. I'm still in 240. In fact, I think I've gone down to 160.
I've started a ritual to get you out of
I don't know why that's happening.
Pixel Underworld.
I'm so sorry.
We've rented a PlayStation 1 to get Corelli on stream today.
Yeah.
You look like a GTA NPC.
I don't know how to act.
I could describe your color as beige.
Okay. There's nothing on me that's beige, so I don't understand that.
I'm having a great time, man. I'm watching G2 do what they do. I'm watching Shopify make creative shots, and I'm watching Corelli suffer the wrath of Cox Internet. So
I don't think it's my internet. I'll figure it out. Don't worry. Don't look at me. I'm casting from my Dazzle 100 or whatever that thing was back in the day.
Yeah, your HD PVR 2.
That's right.
Somebody spectate me.
Yeah. Now, if you know what that is, you're a real one.
That's right.
Press 1 if you know. Anyways,
Press
game 3.
F4 on your computer if you know what that means.
Game 3 and G2 looking for more beast mode. Yep. It's automatic. Automatic. Uh-oh. Uh-oh is right.
Oh, no. Well, Atomic, again, a better understanding of physics, and Beast Mode says, I have all that for real estate in the net. And guess what's going to happen? Another 1-0 lead for G2. Listen, the thing about G2, and I promise this is the last time I'll ever say their name on stream, is there is not a lot of debate about whether or not they're going to make a run to the grand finals. It just comes down to, in what fashion will they do it. It takes nothing away from the competition, but this is clear cuts. The best team in North America, the best team in the world, until Johnny's power rankings say otherwise. Yeah, this is one of those squads. It's going to be tough to beat.
That's an understatement. And honestly, Spaceman, that's some great analysis. Saying G2 is going to be tough to beat. Really inspirational stuff from you, man. Sorry, I'm still trying to fix this background.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, you settle down there with your 12-watt PC.
I got the computing powder of a calculator right now.
He's running his webcam on a Texas Instrument.
Yeah, that's right. That's the TI-84.
That's right, buddy. Through the corner. There's a big demo. Might help things. Back out. Nope. Parth able to keep it out of the hands of G2 momentarily. Still back up into the play. A little floater, but easily read. And he'll give it back to Daniel. The G2 offense now trying to break out to the midfield. Daniel actually escaped some pressure. Atomic was already waiting. And you see this a lot with G2, where they'll take one player up towards the ceiling, likely Beast Mode, likely Daniel, and they'll just keep Atomic upfield. His job is just to catch any errant pass, any errant touch, redirect it towards the net. By that point, Beast Mode and Daniel are already rotating through the midfield. They're pathing to the big pads. It's the kind of offense that is so tough to beat in counterattacks. It very much comes down to just clamping down on possession, playing the ground game, something that Shopify can do, but they haven't done a lot of it in this series.
They have not done a lot of it in this series, and I mean, listen, you got your coach in, no disrespect to memory, you don't have the full squad out here. It's a tough go. and you're playing against the best team in the world. Also, a very tough go. Not ongling, though, thankfully. Justin comes to save the day, but you're just feeling an onslaught from G2. And despite this, Spaceman, I have to say, Shopify is getting a lot of shots. Like, they've been out shooting G2 in, I think, the majority of the games that we've had so far. And right now, they're out shooting G2 by a couple shots as well. It's 5-3 at the moment. So it's not like Shopify aren't getting at least some half chances. But as I mentioned earlier, I don't think that they've been the highest quality. And obviously G2, winning a major and going to all the grand finals that they have, they're going to be converting at a very high percentage.
And credit where credit is due with Shopify, their defense has worked. It's been stalwart against G2's offense when it comes to a lot of those close touches on the goal line, when it comes to more traditional, standard, organized offense from G2. Most of the time Shopify is losing is on the counterattacks. It's those transitional plays where Atomic squeaks by upfield unnoticed and is able to redirect a shot. That's where a lot of teams break down, a lot like Shopify in this series. It happens to the absolute best. We saw it at the major, but that is just what G2 do. If you're able to get up in their face and really contest some of those possessions, you can break this team down. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort. Shopify can do it. It's only a 1-goal game. How do they get back to the midfield? That's going to be the big question. Get a full grab. Justin trying to find one more up front, actually able to get the extension. Bully ball in the net, but Daniel survives, gets the squishy save. Back out on the counterattack. Daniel out in front with no boost. Daniel, back wall, beast mode. Maybe the double tap, taken away by Justin, and back to the midfield we go.
Good work from the defensive side. But now the follow-up is there from Parth. We're tied up in Shopify. This has been their closest game and their best chance so far. Getting G2 to double commit means a clean back wall, and Parth with the placement ensures the goal. One apiece as Shopify not only weather the storm, but come out on top.
Did somebody say a little cheeky double commit there from G2? Or am I lying eyes deceiving me? They're not. Justin does a full 360 around the ball. Love that. Somebody's telling me that apparently GNG got swept by Dignitas, so already chaos in that play.
They beat them 5-0 in game 2.
What has happened? They've been off for a month or 2 or 3. Give them time.
We'll have to talk to Hoodie about that one.
We will. Dignitas, whoever came from the open qualifiers, one of the teams that qualified through the lower side of the play-ins. It'll be fun to watch them in this series, in the league overall. 36 seconds to go. Tie game. Hovering. Beast mode. Just guarding like a front blocker out in front, kind of enforcing some of that extra pressure. G2 getting a little creative. Justin from the ceiling had the reset, but Atomic was out in front with a hand up, and Parth throws it right back towards the net. Dead ball, center weight. Everybody waiting for where this one might bounce. Still alive. Justin getting an extra touch. Beast mode kicks it off his back hood. Atomic waiting on the goal line, and Beast mode will try to get back out. Challenges player, not ball. Through the corner. Daniel looking for the clear. Up to G2 to make the counterattack happen. Beast mode, redirect. Oh my word, Beast mode, you dirty man. 2-1 to G2 with 3 seconds to play.
Did he actually add a little more spice on that one towards the net? How did it? He touched it, but barely. Last man, I think, was trying to read which way Beastman was going to put it, but he just left it in the same direction and just barely skimmed it. And now the kickoffs are coming out. What a block from B-Mode. He can't get the second. And at the 0 seconds, Parth puts it away. The kickoff shenanigans. Memory has done it, and Parth to finish.
Give us the OT, baby. It's the only way we want this game series 1 to go. Somewhere in there was an English sentence. You can decipher. It's not my job. Here we go. Off the golden kickoff. Parth tried to find the demo. Atomic. No way he puts this one away. Memory, how you going to handle the pressure now? Trying to move up through the midfield. Actually gets around 2. Counterattack opportunity here for Shopify. Parth catches it. Bullies his way forward into the adjacent corner. Picked up by Atomic with a full tank of boost and beast mode downfield. Gets one touch. Beast mode. Redirect. Backboard. Daniel anywhere. Comes Daniel. No boost. G2 will have to try again.
Yeah, Daniel comes with no boost. It's interesting. I don't know where he used up all of his boost in the backfield. He wasn't part of that play at all. But by the time he hit that ball, he had nothing left in the tank, and everyone was rotating out now. Atomic was trying to clear out the bottom side of the attack, but the defense holding on for now, unless the misread comes through, and Beast Mode shuts him down. A valiant effort from Shopify Rebellion with their coach, but not good enough here in Game 3.
They're going to challenge everything. That is the status quo. That is a universal constant. G2 will not be leaving their mark other than we will challenge every possession, and we will win this series in a sweep. Granted, Shopify looked excellent as the end of this series came to a close. However, some bit of extra YouTube content for the G2 boys as they go to OT for the first time in this tournament. However, 3-2 in the end, 3-0 G2. Yeah, Corelli. I mean, G2 looks like G2. Shopify with a sub still looks pretty good, but unfortunately, they do drop the first series.
They do. And you know what, Spaceman? They don't look like me. And you know what no one can look like?
Nobody looks like you, buddy.
Nobody looks like Hoodie because that man is beautiful. Can we get Hoodie back in? Or I like to speak to this man and find out his thoughts on this 3-0 from G2. Look at him.
Look at him, dude.
I think that is to be expected. I mean, full credit to the Rebellion squad. Like you guys said, they actually put up a great fight. I think that is one of the most high-powered offense, most high-potential offenses, and they're missing a big piece of it with two-piece. No pun there.
Yeah.
But
that was good.
You know, I got to be honest. That is to be expected. What's not to be expected, 3-0 for Dignitas over Gen G on one of these other streams. We've already got some chaos going on in the Shift Summer League. We've got a Game 5 as well between Space Station and Fun. So, Corelli, you had the right idea watching that Fun squad.
That's right. Fun boys. Obviously we haven't been able to watch it, so I have no idea what's going on. But let me tell you, we'll get them a little bit later, or actually next, I believe. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see what those boys can bring. And going toe-to-toe with Space Station, that's no small feat. I mean, as you were alluding to earlier, Hoodie, Space Station's a team that everyone pretty comfortably had top 3, or third, I should say. So for them to come out and do the dance with them right off the rip here, that's a pretty good sign.
It absolutely is. We've got a few other results that we can update everyone on while we're here. We've got OG over Incorrect, 3-1. I know that's another one, Corelli, you said you wanted to keep your eyes on. And I do want to remind everyone, let's not jump to conclusions. This is round 1 of day 1. We've got a couple more rounds today, and obviously a few more weeks to go. So the fun has just begun.
Tell them, Hoodie.
RMC, they're up 2-1 over Poab. That is a squad that I imagine is near and dear in many hearts. And of course,
just a couple.
G2 took the 3-0 victory here over Rebellion.
I got to be honest with y'all. I'm very excited to watch Incorrect. Not because it's just also the return of Wonder Mike, which is absolutely the case, but also because their run through open quals for this tournament was kind of insane, like kind of disgusting. We're talking about, granted, C9 had been rumored to be like potentially making a change either organizationally or roster wise. So I don't put a lot of stock into immediate postseason C9, but took out C9, took out NRG, and they took out Peeps, which again is AJ, Mist, and Gyro. I mean, AJ still, regardless of roster situation or like end of season, AJ on any roster is still like, he's one of the bigger free agents in NA when it comes to just making the change. And Mist and Gyro, who, Gyro looked amazing with Dignitas earlier this year. So there was a lot going in for Peeps that I was excited about. Incorrect just handled everybody, and they did it consistently against some of the better teams in the open calls. Very excited to see what they do. Corelli, welcome back from the Shadow Realm. How you feeling?
That's right. It takes a little while. I have to like kind of boot up. Every game that's played, I go up one resolution. So I start at about like 96p, and then I go up to 240, and then 480, and then 720. So I'm watching this game right now, and in fact, Fun are up 2-0 with 21 seconds left in Game 5 against Space Station. Let me just say that again. They're up 2-0 with 21 seconds left in Game 5 over Space Station. Top T. Corell and Xander.
What do you know about T. Corell? We know about the Sonics GOAT. My man. My sweet T. Corell. Yeah.
We're the same person. I know that.
Okay, hold on.
You are.
LJ put one in. Got 13 seconds left. We look. We'll get out of here in just a moment, but right now we got to see what happens here before we get to the break period.
I like this.
I mean, hey, look. I'll tell you one thing.
Okay.
If there is anything to be said, I am just a super fan. That's what it is. I got to see what's going on. We got to keep you updated.
Hootie.
Yeah.
You're my favorite Red Zone person.
That's so nice.
I've watched many of your streams, and I watched your Oxygen stream today, by the way. Well done. There's not many who do it like you, bud. Okay? I just want you to know that.
Okay.
You sweet, beautiful man.
You're making me blush up here. Stop that.
That's my intention. Chat, look away. Like the G2 played really well. Let's talk about a little bit of a recap for those maybe just joining us for tonight. We've only had one series done. We have 3 series here for North America to start. Again, series will be happening as mainstream goes, but we just had G2 Rebellion. G2, what's the big conversation for you, Hootie? As somebody who's kind of entrenched in both scenes because of Oxygen, but also because, you've been following for so long, what is it about G2 that continues to stand out for you about this squad, seemingly one of the most unbeatable teams NA's ever had?
Yeah. Obviously they are flashy. They are very capable, but I think you just have to shout that consistency. Over the past couple of seasons, we've been a little bit spoiled, and I think we started to take it for granted because we saw BDS incredible run in RLCSX, and then we see Moist do some incredible stuff, and then we see Vitality, obviously that final split, just go absolutely crazy with Zen. But those are insane feats. Like, those are not typical. That is very difficult. And now we see Space Station, and I think a lot of people are just kind of saying like, that's just another one of these instances. But these are, it's incredibly difficult to remain so consistent. You see plenty of other, Army Corp swept the first half of the season over in Europe, and then they wind up missing a regional. It is so hard to always find success. You're not going to bring your A game every time. You're just not, no matter what. But the way that G2 finds a way to win, they'll scrap it. It'll be counterattacks. It'll be full offensive pressure. They just find a way to win. And I want to give a quick shout to Sathu as well. I think he's a big piece of that. And a shout to the players for buying in. I think that's an important thing at the highest level, is to have that respect for your coach and have that dialogue and talk as a team. I think they probably do a great job with that. Before we jump, because we're about to take a short break, Space Station did fall to Fun. So we've got an exciting matchup up next. Fun on a 1-0 run, and they'll be taking on Poab. So don't go anywhere.
And what you did to me made me double take it right on my teeth. Had me burning in the 3rd degree. Made me rip off the heart on my sleeve. I don't know if I can stand another night with you near my side. I can feel us tearing apart from the way you fucked my mind. I can breathe my sanity. You're my enemy. You're my enemy. You fucked my mind, I can clean my sanity. You're my enemy. I feel like my life is passing me by. 40 years and 7, that's a true crime. 180s off the top of the house in real time. Follow me into water where we will find love. Made me double take it right on my teeth. Had me burning in the 3rd degree. Made me rip off the heart on my sleeve. I don't know if I can stand another night with you near my side. I can feel us tearing apart from the way you fucked my mind. I can clean my sanity. You're my enemy. You're my enemy. You fucked my mind, I can clean my sanity. You're my enemy. And you were gone. I said I'm getting out. Fuck this town, I'm gone. I'm always on the run. It didn't go to plan. If it's the wrong move, you can shoot me where I fucking stand. Another night with you near my side. I can feel us tearing apart from the way you fucked my mind. I can clean my sanity. You're my enemy. Can somebody take my breath away? Hold me tight, lonely day. I've been searching for something to ease my mind, till you came along, never thought I'd find. Take me away in this moment when I'm here with you. Been chasing this feeling, now I feel brand new. Get on a plane, go wherever with you. Take me away in this moment when I'm here with you. Been chasing this feeling, now I feel brand new. Get on a plane, go wherever with you. Take me away. Take me away. Somebody just took my breath away. Held me so tight, it numbed my pain. I was searching for something to ease my mind. Didn't realize you're the one I'd find. Take me away in this moment when I'm here with you. Been chasing this feeling, now I feel brand new. Get on a plane, go wherever with you. Take me away in this moment when I'm here with you. Been chasing this feeling, now I feel brand new. Get on a plane, go wherever with you. Take me away. Take me away. You've taken me higher than I've ever been. 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 Coming home at 4 a.m., staring at the holes in the ceiling. Feels a little smaller now as I'm trying harder to breathe in. Lying in the sheets, caught up in between dreaming and a nightmare. Ghost in the machine, you're haunting my sleep, a familiar stranger. Loving can be so hard sometimes. Give me a feeling in the silence. I need you as my alibi. Just feel it slipping under so quiet. Hold your breath, it's a deep dive. Stood at the edge, we're so tight. Lost in eyes. Can't stay so high. Just feel it slipping under so quiet. Hold your breath, it's a deep dive. Stood at the edge, we're so tight. Lost in eyes. Lost hope in the fire. Try to remember faces. Bullets fly, still nothing but embers, yeah. So perfect days falling from the height. Still clutching on, yeah, hands tied. Now I'm alone with the warning signs. Just feel it slipping under so quiet. Hold your breath, it's a deep dive. Stood at the edges, we're so tight. Lost in eyes. Can't stay so high. Stood at the edges, we're so tight. Lost in eyes. Can't stay so high. Just feel it slipping under so quiet. Hold your breath, it's a deep dive. Stood at the edges, we're so tight. Lost in eyes. Can't stay so high. Can't stay so high.
And what you did to me made me double take it right on my teeth. Had me burning in the third degree. Made me rip off the heart on my sleeve.
I don't know if I can stand another night with you near my side. I can feel us tearing apart from the way you fucked my mind. I can breathe my sanity. You're my enemy. You're my enemy. You fucked my mind, I can breathe my sanity. You're my enemy.
I feel like my life is passing me by. 40 years and 7, that's a true crime. Money's off the top of the house in real time. Follow me into water where we will find love. Made me double take it right on my teeth. Had me burning in the third degree. Made me rip off the heart on my sleeve.
I don't know if I can stand another night with you near my side. I can feel us tearing apart.
Welcome back, everyone. We have another exciting match. This is Corelli's exciting match for the evening.
That's right.
And he is back to 240p. It's a shame, too, because you look great, Corelli.
Thanks, man. I don't know what's going on. All right. I'm just
15
blasted
minutes,
off.
man. Oh my god.
Someone help me.
Yeah,
I didn't wear enough sunscreen.
He's got the Xbox Connect camera
Help me.
for the stream today.
Oh,
I just got to shout it out. I saw a chat earlier that said Blurrelli. I thought that was fantastic.
Listen, man, I reset my internet. I don't know
And-
what's going on.
Dude, he went in the lab for 15 minutes, and we came right back to campus, and he's the same. Oh, it's good to be back.
It is.
Man.
Well, we've got Fun versus Poab. And Poab, we all know this roster. Andy Aris,
That's right.
5-up. But there may be some of you here that are not familiar with Fun. That is T. Carell, which I'm sure many of you recognize. Xander, who used to go by the name Nitrous. And then we also have Talk. And Talk is an exciting upcoming talent. I think he's 16 years old, Canadian. Corelli was talking about it earlier, played in an event with JNaps and got the shout on Twitter. I'm super excited to watch him play. That's one of the things that I've been so excited about with NA this season is so much upcoming talent. It feels like it's been a while since we have had talent emerging, and Talk is one of those players.
Yeah, I think so. Hopefully my voice is coming in clear.
Yeah, voice is good. Voice is good.
Good. Yeah, no, he is, and I think you saw. I looked at the tweets after the match. Obviously, we weren't able to catch the entire thing since we were doing our match, but I saw the highlights. It was just Talk. I saw him do a little flip reset. Big time goals coming out of the young gun. So listen, he's winning the Canada Day or Cup or whatever it was called for good reason and repping Nova Scotia. What's going on in Nova Scotia, by the way? There's a lot of good players coming out from there.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, we've got some other matches as well. Space Station versus Incorrect. Dignitas versus RMC. Obviously, the match that we're featuring here.
That's
And
right.
you have Rebellion taking on Gen G and OG versus G2. That's going to be our round 2 matches. Of course, we're going to be covering Fun here. But Shift has tweeted out the links for all those team streams. If you want to catch any of the other matches, you can do so there. We've got double the 5. Is that 10 up? Is that what that is?
That's right, baby. That's right. We've doubled up on 5-up. Pirates on a boat looking phenomenal as always. Again, one of the more interesting squads this season because of the coach that they picked up, Achieves, and how quickly that squad went from cusping top 8 to, oh, wow, they can make a run in top 8 to, oh, wow, maybe they can get through top 6 and really contend to making it a championship Sunday. I think this is a team that has a proof of concept for any squad that's gotten better over the season. This is one of them. And, we do our best to highlight coaches. We talk about Sathu all the time. I, again, want to highlight Achieves, what he brings to the table as an analytical mind, as someone who just understands the game of Rocket League better than most people do. What he was able to do with this squad to get them to feel comfortable. And I talked with him a little bit as the season was going about what exactly are you doing with this team? How are you approaching their gameplay? And he's a very pragmatic guy. He's like, look, they're not going to go in saying against G2, yeah, we're going to out rotate them and be better mechanics. It's not maybe their strength, but he wanted to take what obviously they did well and really hit on the fundamentals, hammer home what they need to be doing better when it comes to pathing to boost, when it comes to when to take challenges, when not to, when it comes to trusting your teammates to make risky decisions that might pay off. Achieves was very, very good at just recognizing, here's the building blocks of this team. Here's what I can do to make sure that they not only get better at the building blocks, but think about the games more intelligently, a little bit more creatively. And a good coach isn't going to come in and say, here's how you play Rocket League. They're going to take what you do well and help you rethink about everything you do in a more in-tuned light. So I'm really excited to see this team go forward. Again, one of the squads that, moved through the open qualifier side. They beat Dig in 5 in the winners bracket to qualify. So I'm very excited to see what they bring to the table against Fun.
Yeah, just to piggyback on that, I think it's super impressive because you've got kind of some raw talent on that team. Obviously, Andy's been kicking around for a while, and he's such an important piece of whatever team he's on. They've always found themselves fighting in that top 8 area, but you've got 5-up, a player that's kind of brand new to RLCS this season, and Aris, who has been competing for a while, but this is kind of his first big chance as well. And you got to give credit to Achieves for organizing some raw talent, building a system that worked so well. And they did such a good job of improving throughout the season as well. I think sometimes you have a hot start or you can't put things together throughout or till the end, but they did a good job poking into some top 8s and finding some good consistent success throughout the season. On the other hand, we have Fun, who is, I think they are beginning to make their names. Obviously, T. Carell has been around for a while, and Nitrous is kind of similar to Aris, where he has been competing but not really made that top level jump yet. And then you have Talk, actually kind of similar to 5-up as well. He's a newer team. So maybe this is the next iteration of the Poab roster.
Could be. I think I think fun's already off to a good start. My biggest thing is like, okay, we've seen so many times at NA, young gun comes up or a new player on the block or, new impressive 12-year-old that comes into the scene. And a lot of them do kind of fizzle out. Many of them also go to RLCS and have great careers. But as a team, a lot of times you'll see them kind of win one big game, one big series, and then they never do it again, or they're just good for one. The point is sometimes you just don't see the consistency out of them. And it's tough, right? It's tough to have consistency right off the bat. Right. So that's what makes league play kind of fun, too, is that not only do they get to play all these teams guaranteed, but they get to play them twice. And so being consistently good is a very hard thing to do. It's very rare to see a team be consistently good for a long stretch of time, but if a new team can, I think that's pretty promising, especially for players like Talk, who already is starting off on the right foot.
That's right. We're going to see who can be the most consistent throughout this league play. It's stacked up. We mentioned it at the top of the show as well. We've got the champs, the teams that are attending World Championship, competing in this North American Shift Summer League. Super excited to see that. Let's just do quick fire. All right, here we go. First up, Spaceman. We got Space Station or Incorrect. Who are you taking?
Give me SSG. This late in the season, they've worked out a lot of the kinks. Give me SSG.
Corelli, Dig, RMC. Who you got?
Be careful.
RMC. I mean, come on.
Of course, right? Of course.
That's my buddy.
I'll throw my prediction out here for fun and Poab. I'm on the fun train. I think it's time. They've got the momentum rolling. They just took down Space Station in 5. They're feeling confident, feeling good. They're going to keep it rolling tonight. Spaceman, Rebellion, or can Gen G regain?
I mean, I got to go Gen G. I know that that team starting off slow is no surprise. They're also a squad that makes it to quarterfinals of majors and then drops out. Like, that's just what they do. So this is no shock them starting slow, but I expect them to figure it out.
And then our last match for round 2, Corelli, OG Esports versus G2.
Wow, you really gave me the easy ones. I'm going G2. I'm not picking OG there. I mean, no disrespect to my boys, but I'm not going to go against G2.
Well, let me ask you both this then. Do you guys think G2 just sweeps the league? Do you think they just go undefeated?
No, I think they might lose one series. It's not like
I'm going undefeeted. I mean, why not? I mean, if they don't, okay. No, they're likely still going to go to the grand finals. So, like, okay, sure. They're that good.
I mean, I could see it. We've hit on it a couple times. Their consistency has just been absolutely phenomenal this season, and in this kind of format, that's what you need to do. You need to be able to bring it night in and night out against any and every team that you play. So, G2 certainly the favorites to do so. They will have to show up, though. They've got some tough competition throughout the event. So, hey, look, enough of the yapping.
I'm just seeing Corelli over there agreeing like he's not a PlayStation 1 Spider-Man villain. Like, look at him. He's having a good time, dude. He just spawned in.
Hey, somebody in the chat's got it. They said your shirt is too complicated. It's overloading your computer.
That's fine.
Can't figure out how to process it. Well, look here.
Take it off, buddy.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to the game. Let's watch some gameplay. We're tired of seeing the PS1 camera. Y'all kick us off.
I'm excited. Chat's coming in with the heaters today. One person says, earlier just a bit above, Spaceman, you remind me of my wife. Also excited for a North American Rocket League play. Well, I'm glad I could close the gap a little bit and remind you of good things in your life. So your wife and I share a lot of good things in common. That's where we're going to leave that. Corelli, welcome in. How you feeling? Are you excited for this series?
My computer's worth more than your house, and it doesn't work, man. I don't know. I feel horrible. That's how I
who's the
feel.
dummy now, pal?
But my voice is coming through perfectly, and that's all that really matters at the end of the day. You got your boy Poab, and you got fun, and, well, it's not fun right off the rip. It's Pirates on a boat. They're taking first blood.
Yeah, and then maybe not the greatest start, but a better challenge from 5 up. Easy does it. Off the opening kickoff, 5 seconds in, already Pirates on the boat. Yes, Chad, I'm aware that Cheese is not currently coaching the squad. Still, the foundation that he helped set and the improvements this squad found because of his brilliance cannot be overlooked. That's why we highlight it. But let's take also a look over at Fun, who, again, like you just talked about, take it against SSG. This is a squad that has one of the more interesting prospects in North American Rocket League coming up. For a while, it was like TSM. That was the big group. These are all the young kids making their first run in RLCS. But talk to me about Talk, what he brings to the table, why he's so exciting. And for a lot of people who maybe are seeing him for the first time, what is it about this kid that stands out?
man. It's just big-time individual plays. I mean, if you watched any of the SSG series, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I saw 3 or 4 people, tweet out his highlights. I mentioned earlier in the pre-show, you got a guy like Jnaps who's talking you up as well. But right now, Spaceman, it is not going their way. They're getting a taste of reality right now against Pirates on the Boat. Eris being set up perfectly by Andy. And Pirates on the Boat, well, perfect start to their game. 2-0 already in game 1, and Fun have barely had any possession.
You got to walk the walk, and Talk kind of just gave it right back to him. Threw it back into the corner. Andy picked up a demo to help out. A 2-0 lead for Pirates. And I think this is where, again, for a lot of rookies, it's not just about acclimating to the pool of talent you're going to get at the RLCS level. It's also about the speed change. Like, you're not going to be able to just throw the ball into the corner and play a reset. You're going to get challenged on a lot more than you might expect. These players know it. That's why they're at this level. But it is a big difference. And I'm very interested to see how Talkway is going to be able to not only fit into the cadence of this squad, but how he'll respond to some of the pressure. Because even though Pirates on the Boat aren't a top 4 team in NA, they're still one of the more mechanically gifted and more structured teams you'll find because of the coaches they've had in their system and just the raw talent these players bring to the table. This is going to be a tough squad to take down.
Certainly is. And right now, it's proving to be very difficult as they're playing essentially defense simulator the entire game. And now a great pass over to Eris, who couldn't really control it. But a tough ball for the defense. It's floating towards the goal line, and Andy crashes the net. It's 3-0 Pirates on a Boat. Spaceman, I'm not going to lie to you. I think it's fair to say that Pirates on a Boat would be favored in a matchup like this just because of the experience, the cohesion the team has, and everything that you talked about in pregame. But I did not expect it to be a 3-0 before 2 minutes in game 1.
Yeah, granted, game 1s don't often mean a lot in certain series. There's a lot of just, let's get our bearings, the litmus test for squads. What do the offenses look like? What do the defenses look like? We haven't seen a lot of the fun offense, no pun intended. But the big takeaway is the defense is making mistakes. They are giving the ball right back to Eris. They're throwing it away in the corner, allowing Andy to fly in and crash the net, like you said. A lot of the small hesitation, a lot of the indecisiveness from the defensive side of Fun on the ball, that is what will kill them in this series. It doesn't matter if you get a goal or two. You cannot give away possession this easily against a squad that absolutely knows how to secure the shot.
Yeah, I mean, we have to give some credit over to Pirates here. I mean, they are playing perfectly right now, but a little demo might open things up. Oh my gosh, the placement from Talk, top left slot. And that's exactly what you need. You've got plenty of time to get back in, and you need your boy Talk to lead the way.
It's not the prettiest. It doesn't look like it's something you'd see out of a beast mode or a Daniel or even a first killer, but it works. Look, it's tough to save. He was low on boost, floats up into the play, and just throws it top left. Perfect placement. Going to take some of that kind of resolve at the midfield. Make this one a little bit more realistic. Plenty of time. 5 up, couldn't punch it through. The net's wide open. Can Zlander finish the play? Excuse me. And it looks like that will be the case. Air dribble bump works out.
How are you putting an L in it? Where are you getting?
Look, there's a cop pro named Zlander. Give it. Like,
let
it go.
okay.
All right. Yeah.
Right.
Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. It's Xander.
That was a great shot by Xander.
Thank you,
Cutting the
thank you.
lead. What do you mean, thank you?
Thank you. I'll be here all day. Thank you.
2 goals is now
That's right.
required on the side of Fun, who have really warmed up into this series. I don't know what happened the first couple minutes, but now you're seeing the true power of the offense. You're getting your players involved. A great touch by Xander. Unfortunately, didn't have boost to hold on to it. Kind of gave possession back to Andy, who's trying to air dribble out. Talk with a quick challenge. Boost steal for Xander. Finds the back wall, looking for a follow-up, and T. Carell, I think, was expecting that one to maybe trickle into the box, and instead came back out. Some good offense, some good pressure at least from Fun, who were smothered at the beginning of game 1.
Xander did a very nice job of kind of pushing Eris off the backboard, got the corner boost, and was able to, again, keep the play going. Even though you're down a couple of goals, it's still just important to keep a presence on the other side of the field. We've seen that in the latter half of this game. Still the first one of our best of 5. All matches on mainstream and the opposite sides on watch parties will all be best of 5. So if your favorite team goes down early, do not scare, do not fret. Everything will be okay. Minute 22 to go. Into Andy's possession. He'll scoop the corner. Round 1. Playing it around Talk, plays it actually inside, and the rookie will get his first taste of things at the midfield. Chipped off the play. 5 up, dead center net. Xander does a nice job kicking it towards the corner, but back into the possession of Pirates before a big demo helps out.
Yeah, great defense there by Fun. It got a little dicey, but they were still able to dive across the line and comfortably make saves. Now you got to turn it into offense, and that's been a struggle for them. Talk not fast enough. As at this point, Pirates, they could just kind of play a little bit more prevent ball. Don't have to push, just push away the Fun offense as much as possible. Fun hasn't been particularly dangerous on the ball, but maybe that changes. Unfortunately, the defense just crushes them back towards their own net.
That challenge takes just a bit of time off the clock, but luckily, again, Talk doing a nice job of throwing it downfield. At least made things interesting. 5 up, under 1. Backboard available. And he didn't quite get the read he wanted. He's going to have to play it wide. And we'll get Boost to be able to contest if needed. 5 up, punches it away. 15 to go. Should be a Game 1 victory for Pirates on the boat, barring a last-second comeback. Andy dangerous save, but gets it regardless. And a very valiant effort in the second half of this first game, Corelli. It looked like it was going to be a runaway showcase from Pirates on a boat, but Fun definitely made it interesting. They brought it back within 2. However, Pirates will take Game 1.
Yeah, and it was a runaway game in my book. I know it says 4-2 on the score line, but that's after, 4-1? Where things just got out of hand for Fun right off the rip. So, and it's painful as a team to be in a position like that because you never really feel like you're going to win. You kind of just feeling like, okay, we can make it close, but we're going to have to do our work in the next game. And Pirates, the stats don't lie here. You're looking at 13 shots coming up from Pirates. I don't know what math that was. 13 shots. That was PS1 math. I think it was what it was.
Welcome back.
Thank you, God. Get me off the screen, man.
Listen, I think the important thing to take away from this Game 1 is this team, Fun, would have been in a much better position if defensively they weren't giving away those opening shots. Like, they gave possession right back, and Corelli just made things more difficult to kind of work back into this game. Hopefully that doesn't happen in Game 2, but what are your thoughts at the end of Game 1?
Well, it can't go as that bad every game, or at least it can't happen that quickly for Fun. At least you hope not. So Game 2 is a good opportunity for them because, as we were kind of alluding to, they were falling into a rhythm. They were pushing back Pirates. They were finding space for each other. I think that's super important to take note of because I don't expect the beginning of Game 2 to be anywhere near Game 1.
Let's hope not. But in any case, still a long series, still a best of 5. Welcome into Game 2. Onto the beachfront. Love to see that for the Shift Summer League. A little bit of a change up in the maps. We'll always call them maps. I will never call them otherwise. Oh, that's a great shot from Talk, though. A nice little setup downfield, and finally some fun for the Fun Boys. Yeah,
this is what I think this is kind of expected. 5 up was trying to get that boost, and it cost him the timing to get back. In fact, he didn't really need the boost. He just couldn't get there. Wasn't positioned to make the save, or at least the touch off the back wall. And the speed of that counter matters from Fun. They're able to find their first goal, their first lead.
We'll see if it keeps going. One of the big testaments for this squad is whether or not they can, again, continue some of the early prowess that we've seen back in that SSG series. Weathering the early storm. Give up a couple of goals in Game 1, but nothing too much to be worried about. We'll try to work from the defensive end now. Eris juggling all he can. Very little boost. Tikkerell waiting on the backboard. A couple of challenges out in front, and we'll be there. And escape through the midfield. Another chance now for Pirates on a boat to swing through the counterattack.
I think for Fun, it's important to not get too antsy on some of these plays. You have your 1-goal lead. You know the pace of play that Pirates are going to play at. The expectation has kind of been made after Game 1. Now you got to go and play your game, right? You can't get inside your head too much. And you certainly would love a 2-goal cushion, as Tikkerell is looking to do so and denied by Andy.
Interesting clear. Talk waiting with a full tank. We'll take it from the ceiling side. It gives a bit of time just to work back to the midfield. Finally now a chance for Fun to start to establish some more space. But just as I say that, possession back to 5 up. Xander goes for a challenge that essentially leads to nothing. 5 up still working off the backboard. There's the pass, and it was all set up from the midfield. It looked like a challenge might come through, but a bit indecisive, and in the end, it's Pirates on a boat who capitalize.
Yeah, great challenge from 5 up, straight into that, kind of flipping straight into the ball as well. And that sets up a perfect block. They kind of trickle out to the back post. Andy's there. He's been crashing the net every single time Pirates on a boat has an opportunity. And he's better for it, 1 for 1. 1 goal, 1 shot, and we're all tied up.
Now the pressure's on. You're down three goals, maybe 4 in game 1 if memory serves, and it rarely does. Talk, giving it to T. Carell. A little bit of a ballerina act there in the offensive third. Pretty to look at, but not much happening. Sends it on its way. And back into the clutches, what would have been a Pirates on the boat possession. Unfortunately, however, low boost for them. They'll kick it out to the midfield. Talk waiting on the backboard. And we move into a bit of a ping pong situation. So Corelli, for a team that really kind of gave away easy goals in game 1, it's nice to see this fun squad settle down, get back to their roots, and really focus on these individual challenges.
Yeah, you said it. Settle in, settle down. I think it's important and the right word to use in a situation like this where, they were slaughtered at the beginning of game 1. But as I mentioned earlier, now they're playing into the pace of what Pirates on a Boat are going to bring, and now they're finding some space. Unfortunately, right now they're giving up some space, and a decent clear comes out from Talk for Fun to maybe break out and find some offense.
Once more into the midfield. A couple of times where it seems like Pirates might be able to get a kind of a establishment on this game. Really start pulling it by the scruff. They've been losing that possession. Credit once more to Fun. How quickly they've been back on the ball. T. Carell still shadowing. Xander going to cut it where it stands, but Eris will immediately meet the challenge. A better touch from Talk. That game 1 giveaway into an opening goal for Pirates was a bit hard to watch, but done a much better job of settling into game 2. 5 up backboard. And unfortunately, just not enough. Not enough English on the ball. Into the midfield we go.
For Pirates on a Boat, they've definitely had more possession through the midfield than Fun has. I think Fun have, at times, tried to stay above water, but it doesn't really feel like Pirates, aside from the obvious goal-scoring opportunity that they had where they did convert, they haven't been that scary. Fun have done a great job of getting a hold on it, at least at the very last second, inside their box and their back wall. So no more freebies from Pirates. They're going to have to be a little bit more creative and a good demo. Hopefully slow down the Fun attack.
That's an interesting challenge, actually. And I thought maybe T. Carell might continue following, but instead, 5 up leaves off. In the corner, great bounce. Almost made a better read. Bit of a Justin S-type setup. 5 up. Following suit, round 1. Double tap available, actually gets it, but a better defensive stop there. Once more, Fun doing a nice job of not panicking defensively like in game 1. One person up for the challenge, one on the goal line to shadow. Everybody else doing their job. Now a counterattack opportunity. T. Carell from the ceiling. Following, T. Carell. Water drops it down, but they couldn't close the deal.
Yeah, still Fun becoming more and more threatening. Talk really hasn't been on the ball much. Maybe he can get back up to this one. Andy slowly is able to get up. Look at the read from Xander. Drops it down. Talk thought about it, but didn't want to bite in the waning seconds. Decided not to take the challenge. Didn't want to hedge for best case scenario. And maybe it might pay off. Talk again pulling off, but it's going towards the net. Somehow that ball was still off. It finally drops. And 1-1 overtime in game 2. Fun have figured it out. But then can they complete game 2 with a W?
Talking challenge. He actually picked up the midfield to grab off the kickoff. Still in a decent position to help out. That's a double commit. T. Carell's going to capitalize. Can he get out in front? Yes. It's going to waterfall down. T. Carell actually bullies his way forward. Mess up on the goal line. Talk comes flying in. Can't finish the play. It looked like a golden opportunity, but Eris juggling. Works underneath. Got T. Carell to beat and punched out the other way. Couple of mistakes defensively from both teams, but nobody's able to score.
Yeah, the offense really coming alive for Fun now. So maybe right back the other way. Is Pirates on a Boat. What an angle from Eris to at least keep that one dangerous and not just go into the corner with it. It skirts across the top of the box of Fun, who for most of this game, as I pointed out, felt like they were playing a lot more defense than Pirates. They cranked it up into the overtime. Great shot coming out from Andy. Strikes it towards top shelf and turned away. Everyone went from Pirates. That means Andy's got to rotate all the way back, and a monster clear from him can reset the field.
A nice reset on cadence from Andy as well. Just a clean-cut shot, nothing too fancy. Get the defense to stay honest. Xander trying to track it down. Has to give away possession. Talking to get to the midfield. Will get the corner grab as well. A lot of boost to burn here. If you're Fun, now how do they capitalize? Swinging through the midfield. Talk still working on possession, but 5 up will send it back. Andy circling and waiting, the only one on the island for the moment. Eris going to get the catch, works underneath. Eris in a 1v1, tries to sneak it through, but Tok punches it away. Still alive. One more touch.
what a
T-Corral
read.
floating it in front. Tok will clear the ball. And with that, another chance that goes by the wayside, even on low boost. Pirates on the boat can't punch their way through.
T. Corral, that was an amazing read coming from under the ball and behind the play to make the read. Sometimes you're just guessing, and now Tok almost ends the game with a monster double tap. Still, we keep going.
That was a power flick if I've seen one so far in this series. Like we said, game ones don't often spell a lot. Both teams settling in. He missed the double. He missed the double. It was open in the corner. There's no way Eris get that boost back and get back on the ball. T-Corral going to challenge. Eris now juggling in front of the net. A ballerina act that goes nowhere. Andy, the second man up. What can he do with this one? Tok tries to win the one-on-one and does so. 5 up from the corner. Misses the pinch. Xander back out to the center of the net. T-Corral's going to get the call and give it to Tok. The young one, the rookie. One of the first big series we've seen here on mainstream for this kid. And now the pass out to Xander in a 1v1. Try to find air dribble bump. Will at least get a bump off the play. Andy gets the save. T-Corral from the corner can't center. Circles around center net. 5 up. Doesn't
Tok.
get the touch, but Tok does. Finally, the counterattack works out.
You asked me earlier, what does this kid bring to a team? It's clutchness. When you need it the most, 2 minutes and 37 seconds of overtime, fun, battle in this series, and they battle back to tie it up.
A little Tok two-piece. You know what I'm saying? Looks good from fun. Happy to see the boys succeeding from that game one. 773 the score for Tok. 2 goals, 3 saves, 3 shots. Xander everywhere on the field, assists, saves, everything you could ask for. This team looked phenomenal in game 2, kept the pace down to a minimum, really forced Pirates on a boat to kind of overcommit on some of their challenges in the corner. Their counterattacks were not as clean, and they cleaned up defensively, Corelli. That was the big step away from game 1. This team struggled defensively. They gave away too many opportunities in game 2. Very different story.
Yep, different story for sure. Much more even keel, I think, from fun as well. And like I said, just started to play up to the pace of Pirates. That's all. That's the big difference there. It's not like they were incapable of challenging them or that they were so far under Pirates that they couldn't play up to their level. I think they just got caught off guard in game 1. Game 2 is, I think, really what you're going to get from fun for the rest of this series.
Chat loves PS2 Corelli. I love him as well.
I'm so
if
sorry.
you want to continue to love PS2 Corelli, you can do so by tweeting out that this stream's currently live, supporting the Shift Summer League, and making sure you give some love over to production. We put all this stuff together. Shout out Gummer, shout out Jayski, shout out everybody at Shift. Shout out the players currently playing. Remember to tuck yourself in at night and pray to Pixel Corelli before you go to sleep for good dreams and good wishes, folks.
Guys, this
That's
is
how
so
it works.
sad. Can we get 5 gifted so they can buy me a new
This
camera?
is truly disgusting. Can we get 10 gifted to fix Corelli's camera? I'm having an aneurysm, and we're into game 3.
All funds donated go to me getting a new camera. That's a lie, actually. Don't do that.
We're going to buy Verizon.
The camera's fine.
That's right.
We're going to buy Verizon. That's right. We're going to start our own telecom company. Shift Mobile is what we're going to call it. And you get a discount if you're a Rocket League fan.
That's right.
So, and we know you're a Rocket League fan is if you get 5 gifted. So, anyways, game 3. Demo's coming out already. Xander with some space and the opportunity for the flip reset. Trying to go behind 5 up. Not going to happen. And for fun, I think a lot of confidence gained for them. But maybe you have to watch out for 5 up's double tap. And you watched them and you did nothing about it.
There's not much you can do here. T. Corell thought he had space to pop this one for free, and 5 up absolutely denied that all day, every day. That's all you got. We're up 1-0. A good response from Pirates on the boat after game 2. Looked very close for them. All 5 minutes and a bit of OT. We'll send this one on its way. The opening lead, drawing first blood. Pirates, can they add on to it?
Oh my gosh. What a crazy touch from Eris. Oh, and had some mustard behind it as well. Fortunately not on target. The defense was there. Eris trying to do it again. That time a bit too high, but in a more dangerous spot. Pirates on the boat, they've been, I would say, have been pretty consistent in their attack. I don't think that they've wavered much in this series where, you know, maybe fun started to get the better of them. Just fun certainly creating a little bit more dangerous chances, but not the same consistency that you're seeing from Pirates, who have just been kind of ever present in that final third. But you're seeing more and more forays come out from Fun to attack, and maybe this is the chance for T. Corral, who's trying to quickly catch up to the play and couldn't.
Yeah, ever present, but not overwhelming, right? Not like a G2.
Yeah.
They're not always sitting on like at least 60, 70 in the tank. They often have to rotate out early. Seen it with the second man a couple of times. Eris with no boost, still trying to get a little physical. I like it. Was waiting for the midfield. Actually didn't time it correctly. That's okay. Still sitting on low. Pathing back towards net. It's open. Plays it low post. And a nice job by Eris to kind of track with the plays. Everything was developing. Now he'll get his chance on the ball. Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness. Look, Dazzrin special.
That's a Dazzrin special?
That's a Dazzrin special.
Just the free ball that's a tap-in?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Daz would be the type of guy to have his better teammates set him up, so he just tap in, and then he clips it.
That's all the analysis you're going to get.
That's a free goal. That's a free goal.
Guys, remember everything we said about game one?
Uh-oh. Now, what happened here? The kickoff did not go in the favor of Fun. And of
what
course,
happened here?
The last man can't react to it, but for 5-up, crushing that kickoff. So I think you're going to have to come up with something different if you're Fun, and they do.
Yeah.
They certainly change up the kickoff immediately. That
Not as
hard
self-inflicted as game one.
Well, the kickoff goals always hurt. You just don't even get a chance to get into the game, you know? Like, there are players who don't even get to touch the ball. And now Demos talk, getting two players in the backfield, and yet still Pirates end up with possession.
Oh my goodness. I mean, Andy got pushed upfield against his will and still found a demo. Pirates are out for blood. Ahoy, matey. Sorry. Here we go, backboard. Xander just decided to hug the crossbar for a bit. Love that. And he's going to try to play it to the corner. You know, a couple of times when it seems like we're trying to wait for Pirates to break out on the counterattack, they're bunched up. They don't have maybe the cleanest approach in space, but it's working. They're kind of just throwing themselves at the ball, bullying their way forward in numbers. Here comes Andy out of nowhere. Gets one touch. Talk from the corner. Double tap. Triple. Maybe. T. Corral.
Oh, my gosh.
Center net. Finally, something on the board.
I mean, I'm not sure if this is exactly what Talk was going for, but he kept possession, and the second touch is what really throws off a defense. It bought T. Corral enough time to get to that ball, and it's really a perfect setup by Talk in the end. And Fun are on the board. They finally get one, and they've got plenty of time to get a couple more.
And at 28. Time continues to tick away. Game number 3. Second best of 5 of the day. Talk. Recenters nicely as well. Now foot race into the corner. T. Corral's going to win the battle. However, at the moment, Pirates on the boat doing a very nice job of maintaining their possession. Never mind. Talk takes it the length of the field. 3-2.
Talk says, let me have him. Let me have a piece of him. Last man in 5-up. Over your head and in. That's what we're talking about.
Kid's different. He's valid. How about that? Oh, no backboard touch. Actually, a ridiculous clear by Eris. Phenomenal touch. Andy, oh my goodness. This doesn't happen without Eris's clear on the backboard. Like, yeah, it's an air dribble bump downfield. That's great. But Eris's touch was phenomenal.
Yeah, really everyone on Pirates coming together. Eris with a great clear, 5-up, carrying that one, and then dropping down, leaving Andy to shoot, and then taking out the last man as well. Perfectly coordinated on Pirates. And it pays off. And the Demos coming out in return. Another shot at the crossbar. T. Corral putting that one away, and Fun are within 1.
Everybody take your socks off. We got ourselves a game. We're back into it, baby. It's only game 3. But we only got 1 to go. Do Fun have it in the tank?
They certainly do. 50 seconds left is plenty of time. A dangerous kickoff. Really both teams there. 40 seconds left, and the pressure is on Fun. Despite this game slowly slipping out of the grasp of Pirates, Fun are still down by 1. And now they're getting sliced up by 5-up. Talk will save the day. Xander tried to get a piece of it. T-Corral was there to receive. 5-Up takes out T-Corral. And now Talk doesn't have a ton of boost, just has to blast it downfield.
This Pirates on a Boat squad loves to double commit on things, and then they figure it out as the play unfolds. Like, oh, we're going to go for a bump now? Okay, cool. We're going to go challenge? All right, bet. I don't know how they do it. Eris punts it towards the back wall. 3 seconds to go. Is there anything left here? Can Fun go the length of the field? Will they go down 2-1 in the series? Andy trying to kill it where it stands. He'll do just that. Pirates on a Boat up 2-1. Looked promising for Fun with about 45, 50 seconds to go here in Game 3, but unfortunately, just not enough. Pirates take advantage. We're going to get quick card change, and with that, a 2-1 series lead for Pirates.
Still, this shows some resilience coming out from Fun, but I have to say, you just can't give up 4 in these games. Right, against a team like Pirates. You saw it in Game 1. Yeah, they came back to life, but that was 4-2. And yeah, they came back to life here. It's 4-3, but give it up 4. It's just such a tough number to overcome in Rocket League. And Pirates have done that twice to them, especially when the games start to slip away from them. I mean, Fun were let back into this game, but with that big of a lead, Fun just could never overcome it. And you saw all the good that Fun could do individually. T. Corral, I think, had a great game here as well, but obviously Talk with big highlight moments. So for Pirates, yeah, it's a little scary, but at the end of the day, you're getting the job done by the numbers you're putting up, and now you put them on match point.
I feel like I'm in Metal Gear Solid, where he just, like,
just
Commander comes in talking to Snake.
Everyone else is ignoring it.
It's my job to remind you of where you're at. So you look great, buddy. You look handsome. I'm so proud of you. You look good. You look like Bon Voyage.
The worst part is I don't know what's causing it. I reset my internet. I reset the computer.
Mr. Incroyable. That's what you look like. Let's get into Game 4. First one of the day. Uh-oh. No, we're fine.
Look out. 5-Up.
Oh, my goodness.
Talk? I think even Talk was thinking about that one a little too much. No, it's not a C920, Daz. It's a C94.
Eris? Never mind. Patience from both teams. Feeling each other out of the midfield. Net's open. And Eris
wide open.
Will just let it roll in.
Hey, don't you dare miss that one. Don't you dare miss that one. Wide open in the end, and great touch from Eris. I think Fun. We're expecting something a little different in that one. So a 1-0 lead opens up for Pirates on a Boat, and comfortably so.
Sometimes getting a little too caught up in setting the field, trying to get a better board state, you forget to attack when you have attackers. Only one person might understand that reference, and that's okay. Into the corner. Eris leaves it, dangerously corralled around the net. Possession here still, as Fun will try to escape with their lives into the midfield. Cleared back away. Eris' clears in this series have been incredible. Still finds a way to actually keep the play moving. Low boost for Pirates, not an unusual situation for them at the midfield, but Eris not leaving off by any stretch.
Still Fun. This is where they have to be careful, because we talked about it just a moment ago, but you can't really let Pirates start to run away with this one. You've seen it too many times now where they haven't been able to get back into the game, and this one's dangerous. 5-Up.
Oh, no.
Obviously, for good reason, didn't trust that one, piercing through 2 defenders that have now missed the ball. Xander trying to find his way out. Throws a fake, pass 2, and 5-Up comes to save the day.
Another big challenge from T. Corral. Allows Xander to move up into the box. Here comes Talk. Will play it low. Defense is low here. You'd expect more pressure from T. Corral and Xander, but instead, again, electing for boost. Talk sends it right back on its way, forcing 2 to commit on the goal line. Round 1, net's open. Fakes it.
Oh, my.
Gets it. A 1v2? Is that all it's taking? All right.
Oh, my goodness. Xander over 1 into the flip reset, and he's got Andy and 5-Up in front of him, but they can't stop him. Tied up. Clean coming out from Xander, and this this roster, a lot of people are obviously going to talk about Talk, but Xander, very mechanical in his own right. You've seen it in CRL if you've been paying attention. T. Corell, he's had his big moments early on in Rocket League's history. There's a lot of potential on the fun side, and you're seeing some of these players show up. This Talk was possibly thinking about a second touch, but stymied by Andy, and now 5-up, trying to cut through the defense. Not going to happen.
T. Corell of the infamous rogue infamy. Both those words being important there. We've seen his display of mechanics many times. Tied up, 2 to go. Xander, midfield, to Eris, back, 1-2 give and go. Nicely set up there by Pirates, but a better read defensively. T. Corell now on a counterattack with nothing in the tank. Talk waiting in the corner. He'll get the call. Throws himself at the ball. Another double commit from Pirates. They won't get punished. Talk trying to work through the midfield. Actually tried to catch it on his hood. Was looking for the flick, but just couldn't get around in time.
Got to be careful with your fun. That was a very dangerous play by Talk. If he gave up that ball just a second earlier, it would have been dangerous towards the backfield. And you're seeing Pirates finding the space, traded blows here now with the demos. Talk to get back to it, lets it drop. Xander trying to get the bump, but the ball is going to bounce too high. And he does get the clear. And Fun threatening Xander, top right. Fun into the lead.
This is beautifully orchestrated as well. You allow Talk to kind of freestyle a little bit, really pull the defense apart, circle back through the midfield. That's classic, like Chicago JNAP's Rizzo G2 style. That's classic G2 offense right there. Work close, spread wide. They do it just there. About 70 seconds to go. A 2-1 lead. Are we going 5? Please. I'm begging. 5-up. Leaves the reset. Caught awkwardly, but still played. Eris, confident around the corner. Andy, out in front. Loses the touch. T. Corell with another 50 win. Talk gonna beat him on the sidewall, but 5-up gets the possession regardless. Andy, the catch. No dump in the net. Is that a demo? I think it was.
Yeah.
And we're tied up.
Yeah, great demo. As 5-up just won that pickpocket out of midair. Andy on the shot, but it's Eris who knew to dive. And again, it's kind of an all-in play coming out from Pirates on a boat. And they make it work once again. And they find themselves tied up. Looking to close out this series. Fun have been formidable, but Pirates, have they had enough? Are they going to put this one to bed, or are Fun going to keep this one going?
The kids won't quit. Talk leading the charge. There goes T. Corell, third man waiting. Xander avoids one bump. Starting to head on just a little bit. Pirates very keen on those demos. 5-up gives away possession. T. Corell, a little bit late. I think instead they were just trying to fake who's going to take the touch first. Gets it back out, throws it towards net. Xander going to be the first one up, right over his head. Here comes T. Corell in the back line. Picked up through the corner. Tie game. Now got to go the length of the field. Xander following through. Doesn't even have to touch the ground. Still keeping it going. Talk in the back line. And into the corner we go. If it touches, it's over. OT looming. 5-up should be there. Will be.
Oh my gosh.
T. Corell. And it will touch. There we go.
That was dangerous there on that back wall. But overtime once again, 2 apiece. Kickoffs have been scary. Pirates on the boat. They're not going to get possession. T. Corell wanted a piece of 5-up. It's not going to happen now. The counterattack possibly on. Wow. It's a weak one thrown towards the net. Talk on the easy clear.
The double commit that actually works out for Pirates. Strong shot. Weak side of the net. That's okay. A little bit threatening. 5-up comes from the ceiling to push this one away. Another chance now where T. Corell is going to be the first one in charge of the engagement. Wins it at the midfield. The Talk gets the 50. 5-up will circle back in. And we'll have to be playing a man down here in the midfield to Corell. A couple of times where it really looks like Pirates on the boat have an open chance for a pretty easy counterattack. Not saying they're going to score or anything, but they have the space. Essentially goes nowhere.
The first minute clearly has been back and forth. Now 5-up trying to find some space, and Xander with low boost still making a great play to deny the setup. Now Eris and Pirates looking for their own setup. 5-up trying to communicate that he would have had that one. and then was shocked that his teammate doesn't get the touch, but they really threw off the offense there. Just over a minute now and still going, and still no one really threatening in the last 30 seconds. It's been a lot of midfield play, kind of that middle through third of the field. Eris maybe going to change my mind about that. Double tap, or rather a dunk, off the flip reset. And now 5 up again, going to threaten the air dribble to go. Talk makes the save. Eris tough angle, can't find it. Chaos in the box. And Fun are able to turn it away, but maybe only for the moment. Eris to drop it down on target. Good night.
Out of boost, out of options. Nobody at the midfield. Here comes Eris from the corner. Just a missile. Not saving that one. Pirates take the series 3-1 in 4. My goodness.
Wow. And for Fun, I mean, listen, it's going to go down to 3-1. Game 1 certainly got out of hand. The rest of the game, despite giving up a tremendous amount of goals in the previous game, I do think they played a decent series here. It was fine. I think Pirates on a Boat came out hot, were able to put away a lot more of their chances. But Fun, I still have them as my big dark horse in this league play. And so far, with the win over Space Station, that's gonna go a long way here.
It really will. I mean, this is a team in Pirates who they play kind of to the level of the competition they're against. They've done it against all the pro teams, top 8 in NA when it comes to some of the runs on the open quals. They've gotten much better as the season's gone on, granted because of the coaching they've had. But this is a squad that just fundamentally, like, these are 3 players on Pirates on a Boat that know how to play consistent Rocket League. Certainly instances in that series, Corelli, where double commits at the midfield could kill them in later series. Mistakes defensively. A couple of chances on the offensive side where maybe they had a better look they should have put away here and there. That all being kind of just jargon for the end game. This is a squad that looks very good. Again, they move on now 2-0 in the Shift Summer League. Very excited to see what they do. Not a bad showing from Fun at all. But really, that game one hurt them bad. Those defensive mistakes, granted, didn't rear their ugly heads late in this series, but Corelli, it really killed them in that game 1.
Killed him in that game 1, but I know that Hoodie is probably dying to update us on what in the world has been going on. I heard that RMC took down Dignitas for the first time in their careers. Am I wrong or am I right? I'm definitely right because I'm looking at it. 3-2 in round 2 for RMC over Dignitas.
That's right, and that's not the only big result. Gen G struggling to put it together today. Coach Memory, alongside Justin and Parth, able to take down Gen G 3-1 as well. So that is certainly a tough day number 1 for Gen G. They do have one more round to regain. We've got Space Station taking a victory over Incorrect in game 5. And I know, really, you mentioned early on, and actually I had a chance to talk with Flitz about this. He knows, and I think a lot of these teams know, Incorrect and Fun are the teams that have to prove themselves here, right? Everybody else has regularly been in these main events, slide into those top 8s or better. But seeing them compete, take teams to game 5, take wins, and it's just day 1. You know, I'm excited to see these guys continue to perform throughout the remainder of Shift Summer League. But we've got one final match that we're waiting on, and it's G2 and OG in game 5. I don't see that anywhere, so or I don't have it pulled up, I should say. But
let me take a peek at this.
Take a look at it real quick. I think Alpha Kep's got it.
Did Dig win against RMC? No. RMC takes it against Dig. You know, while we're here, I think it's worth having the discussion of, like, if you're Gen G, where essentially do you go with this team? Because it has felt like the ceiling being so high for that trio, and yet their floor has remained relatively consistent all season. They have not yet hit their ceiling, I don't think, but they don't show any signs of, like, catching fire. And even though they've been off for a while and this is a very different tournament, you do kind of call into question, all right, what's this team going to look like at Worlds moving forward? What do they need to do, Corelli? Like, anybody, like, if anybody wants to take this, I'm surprised that this squad still, it's only 2 games, sure, but it's still just struggling to, like, consistently come out of the gate at events and put away games.
Well, I wouldn't read too much into a couple of bad games from Gen G, although the loss to Dignitas is... But Dignitas also, you know, they're a team that has very high highs and then very low lows. So, but yeah, losing to Shopify with Memory on the pitch, you know, no offense to Memory, but and then getting shut out in your last game, I'm seeing here, they lost 3-0. Certainly not what you want. Obviously, we weren't able to watch the game, so I can't really tell you exactly what went down, but I don't know. I don't think it's panic mode for Gen G at the moment. I can't imagine they'll fall out of form going into, or at least I should say, I can't imagine them falling out of form any more than anyone else would from now until World Championships.
And the good thing about this is league play, they can, of course they don't want to, but they can afford to drop a couple early on. It's not going to dig them a big hole like in the Swiss stage or something. So if they can put things together like we know that they can and we've seen them do before, I'm sure they will be fine come later this season for SSL. Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we will have our final match between OG and Space Station Gaming.
Coming home at 4 a.m., staring at the holes in the ceiling. Feels a little smaller now as I'm trying harder to breathe in. Lying in the sheets, caught up in between dreaming and a nightmare. Ghost in the machine, you're haunting my sleep, a familiar stranger. Loving can be so hard sometimes. Give me a feeling in the silence. I hate you, it's my alibi. I'm shutting all my doors and locking myself in, reel me in. When I'm tripping on my words and filled with emotions. Who knew I needed a savior? Be there when I'm in danger, reel me in. When I'm shutting all my doors and locking myself in.
Can somebody take my breath away? Hold me tight, lonely day. I've been searching for something to ease my mind, till you came along, never thought I'd find. Take me away in this moment when I'm here with you. Been chasing this feeling, now I feel brand new. Get on a plane, go wherever with you. Take me away in this moment when I'm here with you. Been chasing this feeling, now I feel brand new. Get on a plane, go wherever with you. Take me away. Take me away. Somebody just took my breath away. Held me so tight, it numbed my pain. I was searching for something to ease my mind. Didn't realize you're the one I'd find. Take me away in this moment when I'm here with you. Been chasing this feeling, now I feel brand new. Get on a plane, go wherever with you. Take me away in this moment when I'm here with you. Been chasing this feeling, now I feel brand new. Get on a plane, go wherever with you. Take me away. Take me away. You've taken me higher than I've ever been. You've taken me higher than I've ever been. You've taken me higher than I've ever been.
Welcome back to Shift Summer League. We have knocked out 2 of our 3 rounds this evening. Day 1 has been a lot of fun thus far. We've seen some new faces, and we've seen some other teams that we maybe expected more from struggle a bit today. We've got all the action here, of course, on Shift RLE. Gentlemen, what are we thinking about round 3? Spaceman, we got OG versus Space Station Gaming.
Very excited for this one. I've been happy with all the games we've had today. Granted, none of them have gone 5, but Like G2 Rebellion, really solid. Liked what I saw from Rebellion. Obviously, they go on to do pretty good things against Gen G, so kudos to them. G2 looked great as always. Paraton about fun came to a head. Very happy to see at least go a bit of a distance, and both teams really settled in. Have a lot to work with there. But SSG and OG, I mean, you're talking about an SSG squad that has started to, for their own talents, peak as the season continued. They have gotten much better. They started so flat, it was kind of embarrassing. We were like, where is SSG? What's going on? They get so much better. And OG, also a team that kind of comes into form. They start to realize, hey, we can actually like not play really slow and off ball and lose our challenges. And now they've come to a head. So I'm just really excited for this, man. Like, we're just watching RLCS at this point, and both these teams, I think, are such great matchups against one another because of the history, sure, but play styles as well. They're a little bit slower, but they're very possession heavy. I'm really excited to see this.
And Corelli, these are two squads that are going to be representing North America at the World Championship. We've mentioned it a couple times tonight, but that's one of the most exciting things about this SSL. We've got a little gap between the final major and the World Championship, and we filled it with some awesome action, and this is one of those matches. This is a sneak peek at what NA is going to be taking to the World Championship.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is one of those series that, obviously this isn't G2 or anything like that, but it's one of those series that kind of shows off what NA has below their top dog. And of course, you might have Gen G in there as well, but OG for me has really surprised me. I think Spaceman kind of touched on it a little bit too. I had felt like I always described them as clunky. It's not that I thought the players were bad. It's not that I thought, Jane Apps was washed up. I've been pretty vocal that I don't think he is. But I do think that it was a team that I felt like was missing a big playmaker. Like, I needed someone that was like their big, like, splash player.
Yeah.
And all of these guys have always had a player like that on their team. And so to see them kind of step up when all three of them come together has been really, really fun to watch. And in the end, I think they've really worked it out to the point where they're going to lands. You can't deny the results.
I think what's really exciting about this matchup is it feels like two teams that are very balanced. Obviously, we know LJ is superstar. I think a lot of times JNaps kind of ends up slotting into that role when he has those highlight kind of days. He is the scorer, the generator, but they play very team-heavy ball. They're willing to use one another, pass through the midfield. They very much lean on one another on defense as well, using those challenges to bait, a free ball for a teammate and whatnot. I love seeing that kind of gameplay where you've got all three players. And I think we're kind of at that stage now in RLCS where you really have to do that. You cannot rely on an individual player to carry you through. You've got to be able to use all pieces on your team and use them as effectively as possible. And I think these are two teams that do that very, very well.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, even if you want to look at the best teams that have won championships, ergo, even last season, but Vitality, Zen was their best player, but they're not winning that without Radosin. They're not winning that without Alpha. And like, Radosin still doesn't get enough credit for what he did last season to make that dynasty possible. Like, there are moments where even your best player can't always have an effect on the field. And, I agree with Corell. We've talked actually a lot about this of like, it's easy to say the name, they need a beast mode because he's such an easy pick. But it's that sentiment of you need a player that can pop off on this team. Granted, they've gotten better at working in that three-man offense, and all three have really stepped up. So it's been much more of a team game as of late. But, there are a lot of teams where even if you're like contending for a title, you either need a player who can pop off like a beast mode, or you need to be so good together, like what we saw with Gentlemates, where all three were just contributing all at once. You need to have a full team effort because you can't win a championship by yourself, given certain criteria. And this being one of them, this is a team in SSG that I think continues to get better the more they play. Like Itachi in Europe having one of the greatest LAN runs individually of any player I've ever seen. You can look at LJ at LAN, and same thing all the way even back to World Championship last year. Like, LJ has just been phenomenal. Like, he doesn't have to show up every match online. People be like, wow, is he really back? LJ's always been great at LAN. So it's these kinds of things where, like, you're starting to see more and more players come into their own skin a little bit, LJ being one of them. And I like when we see kind of veteran rosters start off slow but figure it out. And as they figure it out, the dimensions of their offense, of their defense get a little bit better, and they're starting to compete with some of the more heavy hitters in NA that they're going to run into constantly. Like, SSG is going to run into the Gen Gs. They're going to run into the OGs, the G2s. If that's what's in their way, they have to start beating them. So they started to work on that. Very, very excited. And Hootie, I think this is like a good test for both these teams about like, where are we at in this part of the season? What's coming up for Worlds? Yes, it's only week 1, but everything goes into account. All the storylines matter right now, and everything we see is going to be used as a lens for World Championship. So I'm really excited, man. This is going to be a fun one.
Well, these squads are both 1-1 tonight. We've got OG taking down Incorrect and then falling to G2 in Game 5. No reason to be down about that. And we do have Space Station being upset by Fun, but they regained there, and they beat Incorrect as well in Game 5. So, Corelli, are you leaning a certain direction based on tonight's results?
No. I'm not, because with these two teams, you've seen them in RLCS before. If you've been paying attention, they have gone neck and neck. 2-2 in the series against these guys. 10-10 in the game. They are dead even between each other. OG has really stepped up against a team like Space Station, who most people kind of presume and assume that they're going to be, a top 3 team or a third best team. OG's done a great job of giving these guys trouble throughout the season.
Well, I'm going to tell you, before we send you guys off, my key players for this match, I actually want to see what Hoxer and Nolly bring to the table today. I think those are two players that do such a good job of getting their teammates involved and generating just, awkward situations for their opponents. We're going to see who makes the biggest impact today. Fellas, take it away. We got OG versus Space Station Gaming.
Very exciting one. Thank you so much, Hootie. Love you as always. Let's talk a little bit about Nolly. Let's hit on that point one more time. As the second man, one of the more important players on the field, Corelli, he's the deep back for this offense. He's responsible for keeping the cadence of the offense at midfield moving at all times, for kind of recognizing spaces where someone like Ham or JNAP can set up and start to create more plays. He's really going to have to be an X factor in this series. And you could probably say the same about LJ, but Nolly, just one of the better players on the field, doesn't usually get a lot of love. He's so important for this offense.
Yeah, on his best game, people sing the Nolly praises from the mountaintops. And you mentioned LJ. I mean, this kid is I think just a superstar. I want to say in the making, but I think everyone kind of knows how great he is now.
Sure.
So, but he's yet to reach like that beast mode type of aura, I guess. And I think that he certainly can. He's certainly good enough. It's just a matter of will he do that in their biggest moments. And doing it against OG and a team that's really been giving them an issue throughout RLCS, well, that's the perfect time to do it.
LJ definitely feels kind of like a juicy type player where you get him on a squad, even maybe this one, that can consistently win, go on deep runs. He's the player that gets better the longer the tournament goes on, and he's a step up at LAN. He's excellent. Memory serves, the offensive MVP of the World Championship last year, and he just continues to impress. So it'll be fun to watch him in this tournament. Last best of 5 of the day. Welcome into SSG versus OG, two teams, like Hootie said, that we will be seeing at the World Championship in about a month and a half's time. But already, a couple of threatening shots as Nolly will take his chance from the back wall. Double tap there, plays it a bit wide, but unfortunately for him, just a little too much in the defensive way on the net. Still a good shot though.
Yeah, a little flip reset, double tap. I love that type of setup. Getting that flip reset there is so much fun too, because you get that power behind the ball on the flip. Nolly is certainly feeling himself early in this game. Another dangerous ball. Glances over the top, and they're punished off the post. Oh, it's off both posts. And Chicago couldn't follow it up. So close calls on both sides, and we stay knotted at 0.
Com working on low boost. JNAPS will have to get out in front. Com's actually been an interesting character this season. I think a lot of the fans in general think of him as a bit of a slower type. He plays very physical, right? Like he's big on demos, bumps. He's got that Reynolds blood in him, but I mean, he has stepped up his game offensively this year, been much more of a facilitator as well, and not just increasing the dimensions to his game, but he's fit in really nicely with JNAPS and Noli, and it's this offense specifically, Corelli, has required him to do a little bit more. I think that he also as a player has slowly evolved this season. Maybe he doesn't get a lot to show for it, but he's really been a different player than he was maybe a season 2 ago.
Yeah, but then the thing about the offense of OG, and Hoodie really touched on it perfectly, is that it does require everyone to kind of be a part of it. And that's, a blessing and a curse, because, when it works great, but it just means you add so many more moving pieces to an offense. And if you can't pull that off, well, you're in a really dangerous spot. And speaking of dangerous spot, there is nobody in the backfield because LJ takes away Nolly. A wide open shot to kiss off the crossbar to boot. It's a 1-0 lead for Space Station.
And LJ just kind of causes a bit of panic. Forces one player to jump over, the next one to fly away. That's a bit open. Not going to miss it too often. Already a 1-0 lead. 2 minutes to go. And JNAPS sends it towards net. Bit wide. just establishing some rhythm. Hawkser with a great touch. Here comes LJ. Double tap available. Dead just goes for the solo. Didn't have enough boost to keep the play moving. Hawkser waiting in the opposite wing. Will give it right back. Calm, taking it on his lone. Noli, next man up. Crossbarring down. Is it enough? JNap's waiting and places it perfectly. Good patience on the goal line for a tie game.
And another great, example of getting everyone involved from OG. The air dribble towards the offense, and Ollie off the crossbar. JNap's the crash in the net. OG perfectly executing that one. It wasn't the prettiest, but certainly worked out in their favor and exactly what they were trying to do in the end. SSG couldn't hang on, and a great equalizer found for OG.
Very much two teams that play somewhat similarly and have a lot going for them, but as a parallel matchup, you can see where the resemblances lie, especially at the midfield as JNap's tries to work underneath. Calm looked for a bump, wasn't able to find it. Here he comes back into the play. We'll center back out. Noli might try to just give it a light tap to help JNap's crash in. Will do so.
What?
Still saved out, just a millimeter away from taking the lead. And now a counterattack opportunity as LJ fights for possession.
Oh, I thought surely that one was in. Now off the backboard and no one there to follow up. But my goodness, that's how close this game's been. Multiple shots have gone on the goal line or off the post. And that one somehow did not go in. I want to see the replay on that. That's got to be just a sliver of the ball outside of the goal line.
The offensive OG played it correctly. Noli did everything. JNap's comes in to crash, but better defensive stop from SSG. 99 times out of 100, that probably goes in. From the ceiling, another great look from Calm. Noli can't get there in time. Chicago into the corner. Calm's going to take this one. Noli working underneath. Has going to play low. And they give it right back to Hawkser. JNap's continuing. Great extension from the boys in blue.
Still tied. And 10 seconds left. Communication coming through, but it's into Hawkser's hands. Now LJ, he's going to go. He decided to go.
Man.
Calm has an open net. Is it just going to drop in? He can't get back to it in time. No, he can't even get a touch on it. And somehow this ball's picked up. Chicago was pre-jumping there, but Calm was in an awkward situation and just couldn't get around to the ball. The net was open for a split second.
I think maybe he was expecting the ball to drop a little bit quickly. More quickly is probably the right way to say that. But unfortunately, it takes his time coming back down to the ground. And with that, into goal opportunity for game one. Last series of the day, going to OT to start. Noli's going to wait. JNap's will just send it right where it came from. Can't get it around Chicago. Two old teammates going head-to-head in this one. One of the longest-lasting duos in that old G2 roster. Now find themselves on separate rosters, and with that, two very strong teams in NA. Hawkser from the ceiling, looking for LJ, but Calm will take it away.
Very dangerous both these teams have, and that one let for LJ of Chicago. Another dangerous shot rifled off from Space Station. We're trying to bring that one down, and very dangerously so. For OG, they're looking to not give up one late, and another cut from Nolly from behind Hawkser. Here comes LJ, dangerous, backboard open. Is the bank open? No, denied by JNap's.
Kicked right out across. JNap's was waiting, Calm. Tried to sneak underneath, will get the corner. Gets a demo as well. Power play for the moment. How long does it last? Back to full strength. Noli from the corner, around Hawkser. Has LJ to bite. Chicago, last one up. The defense will scramble back to the net. The offense starts to slow down just a bit for OG. They'll try to keep it on the ground. Everybody fighting for possession. It's a traffic jam right now on the offensive third. Chicago into a demo. Calm gives it to JNap's. Naps right off the crossbar. Into the hands of a waiting Calm. Minute 45 gone. And still no open lane. OG struggling to find the window. SSG not giving him much.
Yeah, OG kind of throwing the ball towards SSG and to see what sticks. Now LJ with zero boost. Can he find the angle? It's wide open. He definitely can. And Hawkser, 2 minutes of overtime. SSG on top.
You work so hard, you get so far, but in the end, it's one counterattack for LJ and Hawkser there for just some security. Some security is the way we say it. Almost 2 minutes gone in the OT. Doesn't matter, though. At the end, Hawkser, Chicago, LJ, and SSG will take game one 556 for Hawk. LJ at 479. Like a ridiculously good game from JNaps. Let's talk about that for a second. 6 saves, 83 touches, but just was not enough. SSG again at the midfield, escape on a counterattack, and they win.
Yeah, 6 saves and an 841 score is something else for OG Esports. Happy to say that I am casting to you live from Yummy Cheese Man's house at the moment. It's been great here in the Down Under. And for SSG, they have enjoyed themselves so far. Close game, though. And you can see why this series has gone 10-10 in games in RLCS. Very back and forth. Was it the most pretty game one? No, it was not the most beautiful game one of Rocket League you've ever seen, but you did see a lot of chances generated by both sides. So both of them kind of getting their jabs in, which is good to see, because sometimes, as we saw in our previous game, you get a game one where fun just kind of fell over before they even got out of the gates.
Of all the series to go 5 today, this one likely the one to do it. Sample size is a hell of a thing. And between these two, like Corelli said going into this, believe it was 10-10, as you said, Corelli, map-wise. So this is a very much a series we'd expect to go the distance. If it does, let's get it cracking. If it doesn't, shame on both of you. All right, let's get into game 2. SSG versus OG. Corelli had to pull down the green screen to show everybody that he's not, in fact, in the Matrix, that he does exist, but I still don't believe it. Let's get into
We
game
should, listen, completely off topic, we should have yellow and red cards in Rocket League. We
Okay.
should, and it should be given out by the casters.
2. Sure.
Okay.
I like this. Oh, my goodness. I like that as well. Don't sleep on the knapsack, folks. He's pretty good. Hoxer kind of gives it right back. Sets it up perfectly for JNaps. And a 1-0 lead.
Well, what a start for OG, and that's a great shot from the Napman. I mean, listen, JNaps, after a performance like he had the previous game defensively, he's finally getting a piece of the offense. And a great start here in the first 10 seconds.
If JNaps ever retires, I will pick Corelli up from his spine and throw him into a very deep well and leave him there. In the corner. Chicago. Looking for LJ. Not a bad touch at all. SSG taking game 1. If you're just joining us, welcome into the final match of the day. Noli going to get to pick up the midfield. Carries it. Nicely done. Dribbling forward, but immediately blocked into the corner.
I think at her space station, you're really not panicking here. I mean, you've got plenty of time, obviously, but in a game like this, or I should say in the previous game, you saw how many chances you had and that you generated, whether it was on the counterattack or opportunities you generated yourself that you just hit off the post. Shouldn't be too concerned, but at the same time, OG certainly picking up the pace, finding a little bit more confidence over SSG at the moment, and demos are certainly playing a big factor. It always is when Calm's on the field, but it was Nolly getting the most recent, and now Calm looking for a second touch. Not going to find it. Nolly patiently waiting. And maybe waited a little bit too long. Nolly to his backboard now for the clear. It's Calm dropping it down, and that one was just too far out in front of JNaps.
Very, very patient from Nolly. That's a calculated risk from him. He's usually one of the first players on the ball at midfield, but instead worked all the way back towards his own net. Gets a decent clear. Now the transition following suit. What can they make of it? Hoxer in a 1v2 in the air. Back to himself. LJ. Try to keep it moving. Feels like one of these really shallow clears on defensive ends from both teams might be the thing that gets SSG or OG to break the scoring open like we see here. Right center net. Noli kicked it back out. Hoxer looking for Chicago. Has him crossbar. Saved by JNaps. Here comes Com. Into the corner. Noli's going to have a full tank. Instead, won't take the ball. Lets Com handle it. And slowly working back up to the midfield, gets absolutely obliterated.
And I obviously I'm not able to keep track here, but a ton of demos in this game so far on both sides, but certainly OG getting the better of Space Station right now. And, I mentioned, no time to panic for Space Station. They're going to be fine. Well, you're halfway through this game, and sure, they've generated 4 shots, but none of them, in my mind, were ever that dangerous. And you're starting to wonder, are you running out of opportunity here in this game? Despite the runway they may have, OG have certainly picked it up, and they've skirted across the goal line once again. Nolly going for the pinch, he will. And with 2 minutes left, OG looking for their second. And no follow-up will ensure that Hoxer gets a good clear.
JNAP's able to steal a couple of resources away. SSG not going to have much to work with. JNAP's not a good touch. Here's your chance. If you're SSG to try to keep possession and start throwing some shots towards the net. Still getting pushed back into their own goal line. And they'll lose that touch as well. I mean, there's just opportunities here where SSG look like they have all the real estate in the world to be able to get possession back, but they can't beat the contact.
And LJ just couldn't get back to it in time. He does get the demo, but you're right. I mean, just taking the challenge head on, and that one squirts into the net for a 2-0 lead. OG, they've had to get physical for it, and Space Station has not had an answer.
Maybe something changes in the final 90 seconds. JNAPs. We've seen this before. Low boost, doesn't matter much. Won't get the corner. Chicago will. Hoxer's going to be the only one up on the ball. To Noli. To Calm. Demo doesn't matter. Back to full strength. Calm wasting time to allow Noli to get back off on the defensive end. We'll circle back out. It looked like a double commit. They gave it right back to the boys in blue. Through the corner. Power play here. Noli was waiting. He crept up just a little bit too far for my liking, but everything works out. Again, moments where even if OG looked like they're overcommitting on a play, SSG a little bit too indecisive and too clustered in their spacing to really work some of these angles at the midfield.
Well, I can tell you that Calm just got his demolition on that demo. And now, Hoxer over to Chicago. They need this one to drop with time left on the clock. Everyone dives for it on OG's side. And Space Station, for this game in particular, they have not been able to break out. Now LJ left with no boost in a tough spot. Calm trying to catch back up to the play. And like we said before, Space Station just need to score with some time left on the clock, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen with the way OG has been swarming Space Station.
And Calm is just forcing the defenders to burn boost, like pushing him back into the goal line, chasing him off the ball. It's so much less about you're not going to be at the midfield and much more about you're just not going to have the resources to make this counterattack happen. And with that, that is it for game two. A pretty dominant showing from OG. And not much you can really say about the SSG offense, because even when there were opportunities, even when there was space, I don't think a single player broke above 300 points per LE. No, they didn't.
And rightfully so. They just weren't able to generate that offense. And for OG, I think the demos really panned out for him. You could see 7 from Calm. It was 9 in total from OG. And for Calm in particular, he sits at the bottom of the scoreboard at 278 on the OG side. And that just doesn't tell you what the type of work he was putting in defensively, or I should say physically, for OG. And it opened up quite a bit of space for them to find their 2 goals.
Series now tied 1-1. SSG take game number 1. OG take game number 2. I believe we have a quick card change. It should be Chicago. So maybe he goes to the Octane. We'll find out momentarily. Haven't seen him on it too much this season. And it looks like, no, we're sticking with the Fennec. So, okay. I like it. It works.
Okay. Got the Vitality decal. It is.
Could have just been a preset change. That's right. Thank you, chat. You know, you never know. Sometimes I want to get a little creative, like, oh, maybe we'll start to see a change up from the veterans, but it very much is the placebo of, I like this color, it makes me feel lighter, so that's where we're going to go.
Oh, is the Vitality decal considered a light one? I don't keep up with what colors are light these days. I didn't realize the OG Vitality with the flames and the whatever this is, the purple.
I think it's like a beehive swarming.
Okay.
Yeah.
With the blue wheels? I don't know what that one is.
John says it's mega heavy, but in a good way. So it's a...
Oh, so that's good. See?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
It's a counterintuitive placebo.
It's a placebo of a placebo.
No, it's placebo squared.
I think that's reverse psychology is what they call that one.
I think it's a subprime placebo.
Yeah, that's right. The market of the decal market's going to crash, I think, after this.
Man, all it needs to crash is the offense. You like that? Here comes Calm.
Oh my God!
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Sweet Mary Martha!
Oh my God! Calm. He can do more than demolition. He can find the back of the net. My goodness, 90 miles an hour from Calm.
It's one way to get the offense going. Set the rhythm following game 2. tie series. Calm opens up proceedings, draws first blood. Chicago in your vitality decal from the corner. Hoxer waiting, can't beat Noli. Hoxer gets pushed off the play. A chance gone by the wayside. SSG will have to try again, but the net's wide open and it's 2-0.
Wow. And they are working Space Station with this. Calm again trying to go for the demo. And this time, this is his first man, but gets Hoxer in the backfield. Follow-up from J-Naps is green grass all the way to the net. And for OG, a dream start here in the first minute and a half. J-Naps has 400 points. Calm's going to put one just wide, or just high, rather. OG, my goodness. What a start to this game.
Yeah, very much a dream start. Couldn't really ask for much more. Knowing it's only day one of the Shift Summer League, plenty of time for teams to make adjustments, to figure out what's working, what's not working. But my goodness, coming into this, a lot on the line for both teams, just, standings-wise, pride-wise, figuring out where the squads are at. In a parallel matchup that feels like one team certainly having the better swing of things here. It's OG, or out in front, thanks to Calm and J-Naps. And that's not a negative on Noli at all. It's actually, a bit of a miracle that we haven't had to say his name too many times because he can just do what he does best. Kill time at the midfield, shout out for his teammates, look for spacing where J-Naps and Calm can be effective. Hawks are going to keep it on the ground, plays it into open space to buy his teammates time to find some boost. And a very weak touch, I think he wants back.
And Nolly hasn't been without his threatening attacks either. A couple games ago, he had 2 or 3, or actually it was game 1, 2 or 3 in a row. He has been special behind the ball. He hasn't been able to convert on those opportunities, but he has certainly made the defense work for it. Now, offensively, trying to work his way through Hoxer. That's a tough angle, couldn't get over it. And Space Station need one. And it's not going to come. Another one denied from J-Naps. He's up to 4 saves. There's 2 minutes left on the clock.
I mean, they're really making the defense stretch right now. This is one of the better swings from SSG. Credit to what OG's been able to do with the ball. They're playing it towards the corner. They're stretching out with low boost. So you kind of get handed an opportunity, but SSG needs to start capitalizing on those long swings downfield. The amount of time they've had with pressure certainly has to be rivaling the success that OG's had in this series, but they've just walked away with no goals. Maybe a chance here. Plays it close right. Chicago. He's looking for LJ, maybe. Nope. Gives it back to Hoxer to Chicago on no boost to LJ. Really the only one with boost in this situation. Hoxer finds the open spot. Everybody gets a look and buries it.
It felt like LJ was kind of falling asleep at the top of the box on the first go-around, but the second go-around came right out to him, played it off the back wall, and got the help with the bump. Hoxer puts it home, and Space Station finally break through.
Took a while. Engines online. J-Naps trying to get one right back. Backboard. Can't get the touch off the hood. Might have been able to find a waterfall. That is the sound of thunder that just rattled my entire room. So let's make sure that our electricity stays on. LJ from the corner. Noli. Hoxer playing it shallow. Chicago.
There they are.
Perfect setup and a tie game.
Here they come. Space Station finding their mark. This time it was just off a Nolly touch, though. It was really what created the opportunity of a misplay from OG. But Space Station, they've been kind of camping the top of the box at the midfield there on the offensive zone. And feels like now they're getting their opportunities and they're converting on them. And they're putting OG right back onto the back foot.
Exclamation point NA bracket if you want to find out the matches we've played so far today and those currently happening off stream. There are many watch parties that you can go check out, but we encourage you to stay here on the main stream and to continue supporting Shift Rocket League. You can do so by tweeting out. The stream is live, supporting the players, the teams here, the production as well. It's been a hell of a start for this Shift Summer League.
Just open all of them, all the streams.
All the streams, yeah. Be a real Chad. Open up all the streams. Wow, what a shot. Hoxer ripping it from the elbow. Gets the corner grab. LJ. Offensive MVP, leaving it to Chicago. Hoxer into the corner. Is the defense able to stand up strong against this pressure? Answer's been yes, but with a tie game and under 20 to go, the SSG offense is swinging through.
SSG certainly knocking on the door here, trying to keep it awkward, and they did. LJ, dangerous, flip reset, shot on target with the double tap, and Calm barely hung on to make the save. 4 seconds left. Is there one last chance for either squad? Calm. Nolly's going to try and keep it up, but he's denied instantly, and overtime we go.
Big game for SSG. For OG, kind of steal away something special. Off the kickoff, possession OG. Hoxer gets it right back, fights to the corner, bullies his way through the corner. JNaps immediately gets a hand up. Chicago looking for the center. LJ was ready, but Hoxer on low boost, going to rotate out on the island. LJ will play it back. Com from the corner, crossbar down.
Whoa.
Com is too good.
Com just whipped that one into the net by himself. The setup from the corner, bang! Off the crossbar and in. Overtime goal, and OG put SSG on match point.
Not many players you'll find barking, but he's one of them. If this was on land, he would have been chapping, yapping, chirping, all the above. It was just a perfect game from Com. Nearly 700. Same for JNaps, Noli. Just here for the vibes. 266, but I mean across the board. 4 saves, 4 shots, 5 saves, 1 shot. Defensively, Com and JNaps stepping up. Offensively, everybody contributing. That was excellent from OG. SSG, really, really great in the opening 2 minutes. Final 2 minutes, start to slow down, kind of retrace themselves back to the offense we expect. A lot of space, not really capitalizing on it, Corelli. It just seems like OG, again, like whether they're just leaning on the physicality at times or they're just keeping pace, they're able to skate alongside SSG for the majority of this series, and then they come in with like a landing blow that knocks them out.
Yeah, and for Space Station, again, you look at the stats, you look at the shots, and it's not everything, but a frustrating game because they were able to put up 13 shots in that game, and 10 of them were saved. 2 of them they put away, which leaves for 1 missing shot in all of that, but 10 of them were saved by OG. Defensively, they have been rock solid, and even when it's looked dicey, majority of the time they've come out on top. So for Space Station, it's not for a lack of trying. It's not like they're not getting their opportunities. They are. They're pressing against OG, but they're not converting. And that's what OG's done better so far. Their conversion rate much higher, or at least higher than Space Station's, and they're getting the job done.
Crowley said it best, as he always does. Conversion rates not entirely favoring SSG. For OG, business as usual. Bit of a cruise control situation here going into Game 4. Granted, you don't take your foot off the pedal, but you do consider the fact that you have won the battle of the midfield, you've won the defensive battle, and you've been executing on the goal line much more frequently than SSG have. Feeling very confident, cool, calm, collected, as Com will kick it out from the blue side. Will follow through, leaves off on boost, out to Nola. Chicago will give it right back to the man I just said. And we'll keep it moving. 1 demo to help out. Is that over LJ? No. LJ gets out in front and holds on to possession, but a flurry of demos at the midfield. OG come out of this game immediately hot and ready to go. Uh-oh.
Chicago's got an open net. He almost got bumped into his teammate, but he'll put it home. And for Space Station Gaming, again, a very welcome start to this game. A demo will open things up, and obviously LJ and Chicago trying to fight over it to see who gets the credit for the goal. But a 1-0 start for SSG, that is exactly what they want.
Take the opportunities when they arise. A 1-0 lead is quite nice for SSG. On the back touch to LJ. Was looking for Chicago. Was ready on the setup, but again, another instance where just defensively, they'll have to work a bit extra to get this one through the midfield. Hoxer plays it perfectly to Chicago. Extending and into the back wall. It's going to be OG with plenty of boost to be able to escape here.
I feel like OG got to be feeling confident. As we mentioned multiple times, this has been a series between these two teams that has been very back and forth in RLCS in the 4 times they played. And for OG, it'd be nice for them to get the win over Space Station at the moment. Take a lead in that record at the very least. But for OG, their X factor still, I think, has to be Nolly. Only because they haven't really needed him. He hasn't had those big moments that I think JNaps and Com has had, but he's been kind of filling in those gaps. And so Nolly has been threatening multiple times in Game 1 and previously, or in the previous game rather. And right now, SSG, well, they're just happy to hit the ball around until time runs out to tie up this series.
Game 5 on the horizon. Will we get to Champions Field? That's been the big question. Haven't seen it yet today. Maybe this is a sign of things to come. Last series of the day, Hoxer couldn't find the connection. JNaps on the pickup. We'll flip it forward. Gives it right back to LJ. Foot race into the corner. Boost grabbed by the boys in orange. SSG will escape with possession, and Noli the only one out in front for the challenge. Com rotating out, gives it to JNaps. Backline secure. JNaps following through. Noli's ready. Center back out. And Hoxer will get the pickup. Thought for a minute maybe JNAPS might try to take that challenge. Don't think he had the boost to work with. Another about a minute gone. A couple of counterattacks from both teams. Nothing too threatening, Corelli, but still a 1-0 game.
Uh-oh. Whoa. That one was a free ball over to Nolly, but hit it weak. I don't know if he was trying to pass it off. And now the pass from Chicago. Hoxer was there. The defense not making a play on it fast enough. Still plenty of time. 2 minutes on the clock. JNAPS would love to find the equalizer, but it's not going to be that easy with Chicago in net.
Dangerous touch from Com. Noli going to play it slow. Just body block on the ball. I love that. Makes an awkward challenge into a more impossible one for SSG to recover with. Com still making it interesting, but better positioning from SSG. Trying to add on to their lead. Been holding it for quite some time. One bump on a JNAPS. Chicago throws it into Com's body. Hoxer gets a touch, but not clean enough. JNAPS. Little love tap to LJ. Trading possessions for both teams. No clear distinction between who's going to kind of wrap away on the counterattack and really establish himself downfield.
Com is just chasing players downfield. He's first man, and he stays first man. As a free shot came out to LJ, who just skied it over the net. I think he was a little shocked that he had the opportunity to, but Com is just such a nuisance. He's done this every single team he's been on, every single game he's played in. He will stay downfield and will chase you around, even on your recovery, just to make your recovery that much longer. And it takes a lot of trust from Com on his teammates to ensure that they can pick up his slack when he leaves that space, to ensure that the next man in the defense just takes that much longer to get into the rotation.
Under 60. Do OG have enough to put this series away in 4? Are we going to Champions Field? Big demo that almost opened up a chance. Hold on. Breakaway. Noli trying to lead block in front. Com soft touch. No boost. Staying with it. JNAPS dead center net, and it's tied.
Love that from Com. Didn't have enough boost to get back up to it anyways. JNAPS hit that one really weak, but it was a great block. Com feints the touch. JNAPS comes through, strikes right up the gut, and we're all tied up with 24 seconds left.
We called it out earlier. I mean, upfield, Com being a nuisance. At some point, it will pay off. Finally, the dividend cashes in. But LJ off the kickoff, getting very dangerous. Huge clear from JNAPS, actually clears the waterfall away. Could be looking at a very quick counterattack from SSG. They want to capitalize here. Setting this series to 5. Noli gives it back. Still waiting. Com going to get the call. Not the best clear, but it'll do.
Oh, he might have a chance.
JNAPS. Bit of boost.
Nolly's
Noli
up.
going to meet it. Free jump, but Chicago ready and waiting. Understood the assignment.
Com will take his pot shot as well. That was a great little setup. Nolly read the play perfectly. JNAP's pass a little lackluster. It was a tough one to pull off with the free jump. And now Chicago chasing JNAPS in the backfield while LJ's attacking. That's probably the setup you want. LJ behind the ball as that one pitches wide.
That was centered. That's likely a goal. Hoxer around 1. Hoxer looking for game 5. Calls it off the crossbar. Chicago
There it
centered
is.
up perfectly. We're going 5.
We're going 5, and a well-earned one here from SSG. Hoxer finally got a clean look at the net with a flip reset. Went a little high, but everyone else was there to clean it up. Chicago puts it home, and 5 games it is with Space Station, and that is their 3rd of the night. All 3 games for Space Station have been game 5.
It's really only fair that for both teams being tied map count going into this series that we have to decide it with a best of 1 essentially. And look, I mean, this was a big litmus test for OG. You're down a goal for 2 minutes of this game. They really work back, investing heavily into the physicality, those bumps, those demos on the goal line. SG, however, when they needed to step up, when they needed to close the deal and prove that their offense could capitalize on short distance goals, on small moments where it really matters in that space, they do it just there. Chicago, right place, right time. Could say the same about JNAPS, right? Nice mirror match between the two. Chicago, 2 goals, 2 saves, 6 shots. Like, that's what you want from Chicago. You want him taking a large volume of shots, and he steps up in OT. Really good showing there from SSG, going 5.
Yeah, definitely. And for SSG, I mean, listen, well, for both these guys, I mean, this is living up to exactly what the script was writing. When you look at their gameplay in RLCS, they've been so neck and neck. And here we are, game 5. Unfortunately, you can't end in an even score. Someone's got to come out on top. Got to do it one more time. Got to do the dance one more time, Spaceman.
Let's do the dance with all of our pants. Let's get into it. I'm very excited. JNaps, don't look at me like that. All right, you're streaming to me from a Nintendo DS. I don't want to hear it. Let's get ready and get locked and loaded, pal. Okay, game 5 coming up. I believe we have 1 second, actually. The players are almost ready to get in. Look, I'm excited, man. This is the first game on mainstream today to go 5, so that's very exciting for us, at least on the NA side of the broadcast. Very interested to see what OG bring out, because it was heavy demo investment early on, not only to start this series, but in game 4. They had been working Com's angle the entire time. It eventually paid off, but Corelli, do we see them pull back on that physicality? Are they going to focus more on the orchestrated offense? 3-man up at a time, Noli really controlling the midfield. What are you expecting to see from this team going into game 5?
I don't ever think that anyone who's, big on demos is ever like, I'm just going to chase demos as hard as I possibly can every single game, no matter what. A lot of times these demos just come at the opportunity of a demo. And if you're a player like Com, they are going to come very naturally, as that he just naturally sweeps through defenses and in first man position finds someone to run into. So for Com, it's never about like, oh, I'm going to pull back or I'm going to push harder. It's more about how much of the opportunity I'm going to get. In that game, in the previous game, he didn't get as much opportunity as he did in maybe the game 3, where he got 7 demos, literally. So I think for Com, it's never about, ramping it up or ramping it down or, getting less. It's just about, if they come, they will happen. And right now, OG would be better for it, for sure. But that's not without SSG, who's gotten their fair share of demos throughout this series.
1 minute gone, and both teams have had their opportunities. Couple of demos. Noli throwing one out. Waiting in the back line. They'll start to creep up in on the play. Tom will get a little chip shot through the corner. Noli bullying his way forward. But it's been the SSG defense to start that's been pretty excellent. Had to hold off in a couple opening pushes. Com, JNaps, Noli throwing everything they have in the kitchen sink at this ball. Hasn't worked out so much, but credit to SSG. Working through the corner, looking for the center, not going to be there. Chicago, little love tap to the ceiling, back to the midfield, and we just keep it moving.
And rightfully so. Space Station, this one, squeezing out to Hoxer. Just couldn't find the angle, of course, in a situation like that. So tough to keep up the play. Chicago going towards his own net here. I think trying to prevent OG players from attacking and just shepherding the ball in midair. And Hoxer gives it up straight into Nolly, who's got full boost, looking for the dunk. SSG and OG, been a sloppy series in some of these games, have not been taking care of the ball the way you would expect.
Noli has not broken his rotation. He was shadowing, I believe it was Hoxer on the goal line. Wrapped out, got the corner grab, stayed involved on the play. LJ trying to put this first touch away. Long booming clear. Comes out of the OG boys. Going to be the first one up. I believe that's Com waiting, never mind, to the midfield. A lot of free space in the air for SSG, but they end up giving it right back to OG.
You can sense this one. It could be a long overtime space, man. I'm just going to say it now.
They might get it. Again, in instances like this, it feels like you usually see a player kind of pop the ball free and take it on a solo drive downfield, but a lot of the sidewall work in this entire series, especially in this game 5, even with open space. Hold on. Backboard available. Chicago can't get it. Had help from LJ on the crash, but JNaps throws his octane on the lower right post. Gets it. Keeps the save. Com to JNaps in transition. Decent shot, not fast enough. The defense from SSG will handle it.
Close call, but everyone ran out of boost on the Space Station side. They couldn't make a play towards the net. Chicago was kind of snaking behind the ball, trying to bait defenders in, but realistically couldn't do anything afterwards. And OG were able to get out. SSG now trying to shape up an attack. Here comes JNaps straight on target. Double tap looming. It goes down and off the crossbar and away from JNaps, and Nolly just taking the low shot and a demo. And now JNaps cuts by 1 as Com doesn't know if he should go or not. He decides to sit back and he's better for it, but dangerously pinches across the net.
Hoxer.
Nobody was expecting it though. Hoxer was just stealing away boost. You can't blame him too much. He does get involved in Space Station. another opportunity, but maybe a half chance there. It's tough to predict the pitches across the net.
Yeah, I mean, look, there was a miscue on an initial play. Hoxer left off to go get the corner grab. I thought, if you just hold off on grabbing boost, you actually might be able to swing in and get the center. It looked like there was a chance there for SSG to close out an opening goal here in Game 5. Instead, we go back to, again, more boom ball, more ping pong. Right over Noli. Chicago leads
tough.
the fake. LJ gets the finish. And downfield, just moments later, it's SSG who draw first blood.
That's so tough for Nolly because the second he started boosting forward, that one's rocketed over the top of his head. So now he's got to get back. His only choice is to do it backwards. And it's a tough read from there. 25 seconds left. And SSG might have just secured a Game 5 victory.
Striking a bit of fear into the defense. Shout out you for the raid. It's been pretty solid from both teams in this Game 5, but SSG looked a little bit two-dimensional on offense. Granted, the defense from OG hasn't given them much, but Chicago upfield with the fake, maybe one for the road, and Hoxer will have to track it back to his own goal line. Back pass to Chicago. If it touches, it's done. OG looking for a miracle here in Game 5, and it won't happen. It won't matter. SSG take the win in Game 5. They sneak through this series, and what looked like an OG runaway quickly becomes yet another great series between the two teams. And finally, an SSG win.
And SSG coming out on top here, but realistically, again, we could keep going, and they would keep trading blows. These guys are so close to each other, and whether or not you want to take that away from where they sit in the international or the domestic power ranking here for North America, it's clearly a very close matchup between these two teams. OG and Space Station, a good show as always, and for Space Station this time around, coming out on top.
For those of you just joining us, feast your eyes. It's a wonderful sight. Oh, man, we're having fun here, man. It's been a great day. We've had 3 matches, 3 series. G2 Rebellion, G2 take it. Pirates on the Boat versus Fun. Pirates on the Boat take it. SSG. First time for North America here on the mainstream. We go 5, and SSG will close it out in that fashion. I want to bring back Hootie because I'm scared of what Corelli's becoming. And also, that was just a great series all the way around. Again, 2 teams we expected to go the distance. Map count says it should. We get that back and forth all the way through. SSG look very, very clean. Hootie, welcome back. How you feeling? Oh, no, he's muted.
Yeah, he muted himself.
Oh, no.
Hold on.
There he is. There he is.
We're back.
My handsome man.
I'm doing well. Enjoyed the match. We had our first Game 5, as you said on the stream. Exciting stuff. And like you said, expected from these guys. These are 3 and 4 for North America. They're going to be representing the region at the World Championship. And it has been a battle all season between those teams, whether it's for a major spot against one another or just to secure the best seed possible moving into the major. Well, we've got some other magic going on here. Actually, yeah, it is magic. Dig was, I just looked over before we called me in. Dig was losing to Fun in Game 5. And in the last minute or so, they have gone up. So it looks like they're going to secure that as soon as the ball hits the ground. And there it is, Dignitas. They take it in Game 5. But we got to give credit to Fun. Corelli, you shouted about at the beginning of the stream as one of the teams that you're excited to watch. Man, they have been impressive. They're taking teams deep into their series. Even getting that upset win over Space Station. This Fun team, I am excited to see what they can pull off throughout the remainder of this season. We got Incorrect as well. I want to shout them. They have been pushing teams deep. They lost to OG, but they pushed Space Station to 5, and they pushed Rebellion to 5 as well. So our 2 teams that are kind of our underdogs here, pretty good showing for day 1.
Yeah, listen, Fun, I think right now are going to be the only team sitting with the win. Tomorrow, they'll be playing, it looks like OG, Genji, and then Incorrect. So we'll have both of them playing to round off the end of day 2 in round 6. But yeah, so far, I think, I'm looking at the league play standings. Obviously, G2 sitting at 3-0, quality day, 9-3 in games. Reddles Magic Cheese sitting 2-1 as well at 7-6. In fact, only G2 and Reddles Magic Cheese sitting at a positive game differential right now. Everyone else either even. Oh no, excuse me, I'm very wrong. Dignitas OG also sitting at positive, so just barely by 1 or 2 games, but still some good stuff coming out from these teams. And so far, day 1, huge success, I think, for the North American squads.
And we have to call it GNG down there in that 9 spot.
1
and 2. one of the worst game differential of the 1 and 2 teams. Definitely not the greatest start, but I'll say it here. I saw a tweet before our game concluded. They were already done, and Coach Chrome said that they just got back to practice yesterday. So they're going to use this league as a tune-up, and they're going to be getting all their ducks in a row as we move through Shift Summer League and head to the World Championship. So, hey, that's what it's for. We're here to watch some good gameplay, and these guys, they're here, of course, to compete and try to win this money, but to tune up for the big show.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think when we talk about Gen G, we're never like harping on them for anything other than they're too good as a trio, and as individually, they're too good for a lot of the slow starts. So my comments about tomorrow will be a shocker. The fact that legitimately they are currently 1 and 2, 4 and 7 in map count. Incorrect, the only squad. I was actually really excited to see Incorrect, and they're currently sitting last. Again, the bottom 4 teams are out. So if Gen G continue to have a slow start, they're not going to have that many reps in here to really get like scrim reps in. But also, it's just like, again, this team that's so individually gifted, and when they put it together, they're a very good squad. So still a genuine shocker that they are struggling to put it together individually as a team. So I hope that they can figure it out for tomorrow and bring it back. But G2 being at the top, not a huge surprise. Shout out to Dignitas. Shout out to Reddles, Magic Bear, and Cheese for having a good start. SSG going 5. Very excited, man. I think that where we're at, it's only been one day, but where we're at between number 1 through number 6, G2 down to OG, that's a pretty good showing. I think that's a very good showing of where NA's at currently outside of Gen G. And it's cool to see these middle pack teams really have still more fight in them this late in the season. So I like what we're seeing. It's good.
What is Corelli smirking about over there?
I'm just kidding.
He's getting
flamed in chat.
He's getting cooked.
I'm sorry.
The chat is cooking.
Yeah, and I don't blame him.
And rightfully so.
That is too funny. Well, hey, Shift Summer League Day 1 concludes. I'll give you a sneak peek of what we got tomorrow. Our first round matches, we have Space Station taking on Poab, Gen G, Incorrect, RMC versus Rebellion, Dig versus G2, and OG versus Fun. You don't want to miss it. We've got some exciting stuff. And just a reminder, this is happening Tuesday and Wednesday this week, the following week, and then one more week. And then we will move into playoffs. All right, so we've got plenty of action coming your way for the next, the rest of the month, really. So stay tuned. Make sure you follow the channel, Shift RLE, right here on Twitch. I think we're actually live on YouTube as well if you want to watch your broadcast there. Hey, you know what? Follow us on Twitter. Look, we got the little ats down there. Y'all
follow
check them
Hootie
out.
on Twitter. Look at his cut, bro. Look how clean my man is. Crowley, they can't see that. They don't know what you're doing.
There. Well,
Follow
okay.
Crowley TV and follow
Please.
Hootie Hoo because his cut is clean. Show him the cut one more time from the side. Show us the cut.
Yeah.
Come on,
Give us
Hootie.
the side profile.
Oh,
Woo!
my goodness.
Oh my god.
Just
I had a rat tail for a little bit, really leaning into the Arkansan in me, but ultimately it just got too annoying, so I chopped that off.
you look
That
good,
rat
man.
tail's nice.
You look good.
You are too kind. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It definitely feels nice. That hair was
like that.
hot down here in Arkansas. It's we're
Yeah,
hitting
man.
95, 96. So
Oof.
okay. I mean, folks, any closing thoughts on the day? I mean, we had a lot of fun stuff here. I'm glad we got our game 5, and we've got plenty of more content on the way.
Go ahead.
No, go
Tristan.
ahead, Crowley. All right, you got it, buddy. No, I'm genuinely, like, seriously. Go ahead. You got it, buddy.
My thoughts.
Okay. Well, G2
All right,
looks
buddy.
really good.
I'm just
G2
kidding.
looks great.
Okay, guy.
Legitimately, G2 looked really, really good. I don't think anybody expected anything different. This is the number 1 team going into the tournament, best team in the world with arguably the best player in the world. So we expect them to make the grand finals. That's not a shocker for anybody to say. So far, they look great. Everybody else, I think SSG turned it around today. Came out a little bit slow, but definitely turned things around. I liked what we saw from Talk. Very excited to watch him continue to play in this tournament. Gen G need to figure it out. And look, at some point, we're going to see Reynolds, Magic Bear, and Cheese, and you know it's going to get rowdy on this stream. So I'm just excited for that. But Corelli, what are your thoughts?
No, I think this is really fun. I think it's a lot of I think it's great. Day 1 pretty much went exactly how I would have expected, except for maybe a tiny little upset in there,
Sure.
or two. But it's only day 1, and it's only like the first set of matches, which
Yeah.
what makes league play kind of fun. This is a story that's ever going to be built day to day, and to get today and tomorrow, and then the weeks to come. So I'm very excited to see how day 2 and then Tuesday of next week, because that is kind of your halfway point, is Tuesday next week of games. So that's kind of where we can say, okay, Where are we at in this league play? Who are our top dogs and who's struggling?
Like they said, exciting stuff. Playoffs. I think the first week of August. So we've got a few more weeks to go. The teams have times to turn it around if they had a slow start. That's it, folks. Shift Summer League NA broadcast coming to a close. We had some awesome matches. A big thank you to Shift, all the folks behind the scenes able to make this possible. Of course, all the teams for competing, and the legends, Spaceman Corelli, for bringing you guys the action. That's going to do it for us here on the Shift RLE channel. We're going to catch you next time.
Coming home at 4 a.m., staring at the holes in the ceiling. Feels a little smaller now as I'm trying harder to breathe in. Lying in the sheets, caught up in between dreaming and a nightmare. Ghost in the machine, you're haunting my sleep, a familiar stranger. Loving can be so hard sometimes. Give me a feeling in the silence. I need you as my alibi to wake me up tonight. Nothing I change will make me right. Trying, but there's no way to hide. So I need you as my alibi to wake me up tonight. Waking in the morning, I can't hear you in the kitchen. Nothing feels right, and on my bed can't make me fit in. Lying in the sheets, caught up in between dreaming and a nightmare. Ghost in the machine, you're haunting my sleep, a familiar stranger. Loving can be so hard sometimes. Give me a feeling in the silence. I need you as my alibi to wake me up tonight. Nothing I change